time is now. NUFC Early Night News with Gary the Geordie Yam Yam, Andrew Goalkeeper, and Derek the Mighty Wind. Weekdays from 7:30 p.m. UK, 1:30 p.m. USA. NUFC Talk.
And as if by magic, we're here. He's still looking at what he's got. He's got his headphones in. He's bless him. He's just sat in. It looks like he's struggling with the connection. So we'll get to him in a minute. Hello, everybody. Welcome to NUFC Talk with myself, the Geordie Yam Yam, the pantomime dame this evening. We've got Boki, we've got Tina Tooney, and we've got the mighty Win, who's struggling with his headphones at the moment. Bless him. He's probably been out on the lash all day. So if it makes any sense tonight, it may be a miracle. Let's do the housework and then we'll get on with tonight's show. Like I say, it's going to be a little bit of a festive one. Let's have a look at what's going on at Man U and everything that you could wish for Newcastle. So let's see where we are. So welcome to watching. Welcome to all watching across the platforms. Thanks to everybody that works in the background. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoy this show. It certainly helps us get further as a channel to other supporters. Subscribe. It's totally free. Smash that bell for future content. You will get that 30-minute warning if you do so. And you can come and join us live at any time. Like I said, we're always live, never edited. So if you want to support the channel, you can become a member for a small monthly fee if you can afford to do so. But it would be an amazing surprise and prezi for all of us at NUFC Talk. If you've got a question for any of us in the panel, then put a Q in front of it. But it ain't guaranteed, by the way. So if you do want to guarantee it, then obviously use the $sign. Throw us at NUFC Talk Super Chats, and that'll guarantee that message read out. Anybody that becomes a member during the show, or any of our lovely members that gift them, will also be thanked and highlighted as we go. So how are we, lovely folks? Are we all ready for Crimbo? Like I say, we're waiting for Mighty Win to join us back, so we'll just stay where we are. Are you okay? Yeah. 1, 2. He's in the distance.
Yeah. Well, at least he can
like
count.
Santa Claus?
Yeah.
At least
is he going to come down mid chimney? I hope he doesn't empty. His sack. I'll tell you now.
Yeah. I just hope all the guys in the chat are ready for Christmas, and let's make it a positive one tonight. Let's have a good show.
Absolutely. There is nothing. I got the first like in lol. Well, not with me, you didn't, because I was in there first.
Controversy already?
Oh, I'm going to say. Quinny's in. Evening, Quinny. Evening, Irish. Evening, Boki's there, obviously. 2 nuts in as well. Well done and welcome all. War Captain Bruno. He's already in the chat, so welcome one and all. Like I say, he's having issues, so we'll crack on with the show. You want to start this one, but we're going to have to wait for Win to jump on board, aren't we? To start that one. Like I say, I'm hoping everybody is prepped and ready for Crimbo. We had the presser this morning. It wasn't an amazing presser as always. It was just one of those things that you jump on board with, and you seem to get a small amount of information from him. Obviously, we're still looking at a couple of players to come back. There isn't a lot of players out there. Well, no change really. Botman's close. Pope hasn't even trained yet, according to Eddie. So will Pope be in this weekend? This week? Obviously not, but he said he was going to have a look at him today to see whether he is. And Connor, bless him, he sent some stats in earlier on, and we've obviously had a look at those stats, and it looks very much as though we are on a bit of a drop when it comes to the stats from Ramsdale. With Pope in goal, it's 71% save rate, and with Ramsdale, it's 56%. So there is a massive drop of around about 23% when it comes to shot stopping. But Eddie Howe did say that, with the way keepers are today, what you gain with the feet sometimes balances what you lose with your hands. So I expected a 1 or 2, maybe even a 1 to 5% drop off. But 23%, I think that's probably going a little bit far. Do you guys think that if we close that gap from the save side of things to progressive passes, the results would go more in a positive way than the negative way?
I think so. I mean, I think, as much as football has changed to where goalkeepers are now sweeper keepers, I think your number one job as a goalkeeper is to stop the opposition from scoring a goal. So I get what Eddie's saying about the distribution really mattering, and we're all going to go with Nick Pope for his distribution. But let's be honest, you need to be saving. And I mean, I think it's unfair to look at Ramsdale's stats and say, okay, Ramsdale's definitely a worse goalkeeper, because as we've seen, some of the goals that have went in against them haven't really been him at fault or have been absolute world beaters. But at the same time, you do want a goalkeeper that you can feel confident about keeping the ball out of the net at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, everybody, for me, is it the nail on the head. I mean, you've got to take it with both. When you look at the stats for progressive passing, as you would expect, it's a 14% swing in the opposite way. Obviously, it's not as high as 23%. So, again, when you look at the metrics, you've got to start saying to yourself, do I want a keeper that can obviously stop the ball with shots and also be able to pass out from the back? And like I say, you can see the difference regarding Ramsdale to Pope straight away regarding the passing metrics. But it still leaves us short.
I think the point is, Gary, if the question is who's the best keeper for the Newcastle, it's neither of these two. We need somebody who can do both. We need somebody who can be the combination of the two. And I know that'll cost money, and I know it's a struggle to get somebody like that. But I don't think either of these lads are the long-term answer.
But if you go, can I just ask, I don't know if I'm getting in the way of anything important by interjecting again. Has anybody got an idea of a couple of goalkeepers, like a short list of goalkeepers that they would like to see Newcastle buy?
Off the top of my head. Yeah, there's there's a new requirement for the panel. They must wear glasses. So, because obviously all four of us, Connor's just come in. A new requirement for panel: wear glasses. So there you go.
That's fair. I didn't have mine on yesterday, so
can't hear you, mate. Are you still struggling, Win? Yeah, he's still his mic's still buggery dart. So he's going to jump back out and try. I think it's shameful, Gary, trying to take the lady of the panel status away from Tina. Stop it, Gary. Dressing up as a lady doesn't get you. Well, I just said that. I am the pantomime. I am the dame tonight. I mean, she's Cinderella. You know what I mean? I'm the ugly sister. So I mean, I don't know what Boki is. Are you? I tell you what, you can be the prince.
Thank you.
With that glass slipper. Wins buttons. Yeah,
buttons.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. I love it. I know, like I say, we all wanted to wish him a very happy birthday, but like I say, he's struggling. Are you there now, Mighty? I don't think he is. I don't think he is. I mean, we all looked at. I mean, Niall's just put in the chat there. Chevalier and stuff like that. I mean, they were all on the list the last time we were looking at Trafford and stuff like that, and everybody was really going for Mamadashvili. But again, I can now. Yes. So that is. Right. He's talking to me. He's talking to me in my ear through the private mic. But obviously his mic isn't working. So I think, what he was saying there, Chevalier was definitely up on my list when I was looking at, when Trafford was coming. And you're right, you have got, who was the other one that was there? I think Costa was definitely one of them. But again, you are going to have to spend a little bit of cash to get these boys on board. And that's the thing. When you think about Trafford, and for me, there's potentially still that niggles me in the back of my mind that Newcastle will be offered Trafford in a part exchange plus cash for Tina. I've got it in my mind for some unknown reason.
So now, like a brainworm, you're going to be dreaming about it. You're going to manifest it to happen, and we're going to end up losing a right back. I'm going to get a goalkeeper that I don't even like.
Yeah.
Does it have to be an English goalkeeper we're going for though? That seems to be his big want, doesn't it? That the keeper is English, and his main focus seems to be on that. Whereas there are people out there that could do the job. I think we need to look further afield, to be honest, a little bit. And as you said the other night, Gary seems to have a little book of players who he just keeps trying to get. That he's got in his mind. He wants these players in his team,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's exactly who he'll keep going for.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious now. Like, the Book of 22, and that's what I class it as, because all the names that he's going back for seem to be of that ilk. We, like I say, Trafford's been on there for some time now, so I just look at that and say, well, what can Trafford give us? Yes, he's an up and coming keeper, but is he any different? Is he any better than what we've already got, or is it literally a sideward step and a development situation with a different style of keeper?
I mean, if he's going to keep going for English goalkeepers, I think Trafford's probably the only choice, because, I mean, he's not going to get away with bringing Pickford in, is he? That's not going to go down well with our fans. So, outside of that, I mean, if he's looking for English Premier Division goalkeepers, I mean, who else except Trafford? But again, I mean, I don't think he's a massive upgrade on Ramsdale, to be honest. I don't see that much of a disparity between the two of them. That's not a real word. You know what I mean, though? Like, I don't see that much of a difference between them.
No, and that's the thing. I think if you're going to throw and cast the net, you want to make sure that you get that amalgamation of both hands and feet. If that's the style of football that you want to be achieving at Newcastle, and I think like I say, what you lose with Pope and Ramsdale, if you've got one of them as your understudy, and again, I can't see Pope being happy to sit on the bench. I think he's probably too good and probably enough to go and play in the Premier League somewhere else. Would Ramsdale be happy at number 2? Perhaps not. Perhaps not. So again, what you've probably got. Connor's just said the one thing about Trafford, he is 6'5" and Howe likes tall keepers. But that doesn't really give me, like I say, I don't really particularly look at height as being a massive advantage if you're flexible. And I mean, I've seen some 5'11" goalkeepers that have been cracking in the past.
I mean, we've got Shea Given. He was great. I mean, what was he, like 5'8", 5'9"?
I think he was around about the 5'10", 5'11" mark, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was about 6, wasn't he? Just about.
He never looked it. No offense to him, but it never looked it.
No, exactly. But I do think he looks, as the lad said, as Connor said, he does look for the taller keeper. And that's it. Did Rudolph go to school? No, he was elf taught. PDK's coming in with them. Why do birds fly south in winter? It's too far to walk. Love it.
That's fine.
Keep them coming. We'll have all the dad jokes tonight. I'm sure of it. And obviously Kenny's put in there that T.A.M has obviously stalled with these contract talks at the moment. So a rumor is out there that his dad does look favourably towards the Man City rumour. And like I said, for me, for the love of Trafford, it certainly wouldn't surprise me if Man City don't come in with a curveball. Even though they've said they don't want to lose Trafford, I just think it's convenient for them to utilise what they've got in their armoury to try and prize him out the door, if I'm honest with you. It's going to be an interesting one to see where we go from here. So shall we do the Christmas wish list for Newcastle, or shall we get on with the Man U game and see what we get from that? What do you guys want to do?
All right, let's do the Man U then.
Shall we do the Man U?
Let Win get a chance to get sorted out.
Okay, we'll do that, and then we'll go on board with a Christmas wish list. So, Newcastle United begin their festive schedule with a trip to Old Trafford, facing Man U on 8 p.m. kickoff of Boxing Day. Stupid day to have it. To be fair, going to be really difficult for the travelling fans. Following a 2-0 victory at Old Trafford in December 24, Eddie Howe's side have the opportunity to secure a back-to-back away win against Man U for the first time since 35. The match also marks a personal milestone for Howe, who will take charge of Newcastle for the 200th time in all competitions. Speaking ahead of the game, the Magpies boss struck the optimistic tone. My glass is very much half full. I know others may see it differently, but I feel we're improving. We are moving in the right direction, but there's still a lot of work to do. Become the team we want to be, a team that wins consistently. That's what's been missing this season, putting winning runs together. And to be fair, I don't think there's much we can say on that. I've also confirmed that Newcastle have contacted the PGMOL regarding the penalty decision involving Anthony Gordon against Chelsea. A call has already gone in, he said. We just want clarity on thought process behind the decision. The game obviously will be shown live on Sky Sports, but do us a favour, come and listen to us. Don't listen to them pundits on there. Come and have some cracking commentary from us here at NUFC Talk. We'll be here before, as the like I say, on the build-up, and then we'll get straight into the game. So team news, obviously speaking on Tuesday, Howe suggested Tino Livramento, Sven Botman could be involved sooner rather than later, although he stopped short by confirming their return dates. We know the unavailability of Kieran Trippier, Dan Burn, Emil Kraft and Willa Sula. And again, lots of rumours and talk now about the Willa Sula going to Frankfurt. I think that's just a matter of time now, because some were saying that he's already agreed in personal terms to a 5-year contract, but it looks like Frankfurt are looking for a loan move with the option to buy further down the road. So, but the one thing that we must be careful of is the disciplinary watch. Bruno Guimaraes has 4 Premier League bookings. A 5th against either Manchester United or Burnley would result in that 1-match ban. Anything from what I've just said there, you two, that you feel anything for? I mean, it's like I say, it's the usual news.
It feels like Eddie Howe's just been listening to us on here and thought, oh yeah, I'll like what Christina said, I'll just mimic that.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that they have put it. I mean, I don't know what it's going to accomplish, putting the complaint in about VAR. Obviously, it shows that Eddie Howe is a bit fired up about it. The fact that he is challenging that even after the fact. But I mean, it's not like they're going to be like, okay, get the teams back on the pitch, we'll have a penalty. Like, it would be great to think that could happen. But I mean, I've got more chance of getting Bobby and Cher for Christmas than I've got of that, really, haven't I? So.
Well, I think what this is, again, for me, what I like about this is I don't want Newcastle to be an easy target for referees to say no to. So I am glad, in all honesty, that the lad has come out and said that we are asking the question, because at the end of the day, like I said, what we need is a rationale for the reason why, you know, and if they, again, who takes responsibility? You know, the referee now, for me, as I stated yesterday, have an easy out because they are literally now got the backup of VAR. So who do they blame now? They can't blame the on-field referee because the boys in the office also suggested it was, you know, there was nothing clear and obvious regarding an error. So, you know, really speaking, it's not a case of, you know, us getting anything from the game because the game's gone now. Them 2 points have gone and they'll never get them back. But it does show that Newcastle aren't going to sit back and just allow the referees just to take the mickey, if you like. So I'm glad of that. Boki, anything from the presser this morning that you want to add?
No, it was very much the same old, wasn't it? Still a little bit disappointed in some of the questions, but at least I did question him a little bit. Hopefully we'll start getting some players back as the main thing now, isn't it, moving forward before the January window. And if we're all going to get players back, we need to make sure, you know, so we know they're fit, so we know what we need to go out and actually prioritise for the window. But again, the press conferences now are just becoming a bit of a, you know, as I say, you get the same things every week. It's sort of it's like your Christmas dinner, isn't it? You get the little bit of cabbage, a little bit of sprouts, a little bit of carrot. And it's the same every week. They don't change the questions as such.
Yeah, I think, like I say, I do think they are governed to a degree from what they can and can't say. That's what it feels like, when you see and listen to the repetitiveness of some of the questions. The betting odds for the game: Newcastle at 11-5, the draws at 27-10, and Manchester United win is 11-10. So there you go. There's the betting at the moment. The team news for Man U is United will be without Kobe Mainu, Delict, Harry Maguire through injury, while call-ups have been AFCON call-ups, that is, to Mbuemo, Diallo, that's Ahmad Diallo, and Mazraoui are also available. So Casemiro returns after his suspension, so I would imagine he'll be in the middle because obviously we know Bruno Fernandes pulled a hamstring. So Ruben Amorim's side were beaten 2-1 at the Villa Park on Sunday, extending their run to 10 consecutive matches without a clean sheet. Fernandes did not return for the second half at Villa Park due to this hamstring issue, and is expected to miss the Newcastle visits. So at home, the Premier League this season, Manchester United have had 1-4. That was against Burnley, Chelsea, Sunderland and Brighton. They've drawn 2, West Ham and Bournemouth, and they've lost 2, Arsenal and Everton. So again, when you look at those metrics, you don't know which Manchester United are going to turn up. Like I say, they're very good going forward when they've got the squad there, but they are so weak at the back. And like I say, to me, it always feels like you're trying to cut water in your hands. They leak so many goals. So the home goals for and against is 16 scored and 12 conceded, which in actual fact, it mirrors Newcastle's record, although Magpies have played one additional match. So the ref's Anthony Taylor, the Cheshire-based official. He takes charge of the Newcastle for the first time this season. FIFA-listed referee. Taylor previously oversaw 3 Newcastle matches this season: the 3-1 Premier League win at Forest, 3-0 home victory at Villa, and the 2-1 defeat to Brighton at St James's Park. VAR, unfortunately, is Stuart Atwell. So let's have a quick look at the potential teams that I've got on my Christmas card here. Like I say, what I've done there is I've put the same team out that faced Villa for Man U, and literally all I've done is taken Bruno out for them and put Casemiro in, which is the lad in the middle here. I would imagine they'll probably go for a very similar system. There is a young lad in their ranks that's I like very much, and I'd love to see him in a black and white shirt. That's Mr. Lacey here. I can't remember. He's Shaw. I think it's Shaw Lacey. I think it is. Not sure whether he's an Irish descendant or family is. So, like I say, he's good kid. Like I say, I think he's Liverpool born, but like I say, he's pledged his career at Man U for now. Let's see what happens. But like I say, they haven't got a lot in the locker, if I'm honest with you. When you look at what they've got, I mean, do they bring Mount out? Do they pop Mount a little bit further back? I think their midfield, like I say, Ugarte, I don't rate. Casemiro is a bull in a china shop at the best of times. I think the only danger for me is Cunha down that left-hand side. They play this 2-4-2-1. The 3-4-2-1 system under Amorim. So I'm not sure whether you would, like I say, does it give them anything extra? No, it doesn't. It weakens them massively to lose Bruno Fernandes. So let's see. I've put the same team out that started against Chelsea. Do you see any changes coming in from there?
I'd like to see Burn get into the team somehow, but
Burn?
Not Burn, sorry, Barnes.
Yeah.
Barnes get into the team somewhere. Potentially Murphy, maybe's. Tell Gordon he's playing on the right, and Barnes on the right would be my personal choice, but I don't think it'll happen. I think it'll be exactly the same as you've put out there, Gary.
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I couldn't fault the first half. Like I say, and I couldn't really fault the second half if they would have done a little bit. Lacey is a Scouser, says Irish. He played for the under-20s for England. There you go. Thanks, mate. And I knew he was that side of Lancashire. So thanks, mate. But like I
What's
say,
a
he's a
chance
good
we'll
kid.
see Lisa ahead of Altamara?
Well, I mean that this is the only time that you've got that midweek break, if you like. And I know it's not a lot of break, but 5 days for Newcastle at the minute will seem like 2-week holiday. So I think they will potentially start Wissa. That's what I'm saying. For me, I think Wissa will come on because the one thing we need going into the new year is obviously the fitness levels of Wissa to be higher than it is at the moment. I mean, he has commented that, like, obviously he's still not 100% match fit. He still needs to be sharp. But I must admit, when you see the balls in and around the box, that ball between the two defenders for Harvey Barnes was weighted perfectly. He certainly doesn't look like a lad who's missed a lot of football pre-season. So, like I say, it's nice to see that he's still got that touch about him. And for me, like I said, if you take Gordon out, do you lose that little bit of a chink in the confidence? Because, like, obviously he played really well in that first 60 minutes before he got substituted. So do you give him that next opportunity to come on board? Like you say, do you drop Murphy and see if Alanga can do anything against these? Because playing like the likes of Gary Shaw at the back, I was going to say Gary Shaw then, but that was years ago. Do you want to get at these boys with some pace? Or do you think it'll just be the triangular Goyle on that right-hand side, try and deliver the ball, as we saw from Murphy, from a little bit deeper to try and angle it between the last line of defence and keeper?
But Gary, does this not make a bit of a mockery of what how it says as well in pressers and things like that sometimes about players? Because seemingly Murphy was injured, and all of a sudden he's back in the team and starting matches. You know, if the lad's carrying an injury, does he need a rest? You know, I hate to say it, but does Hall need a rest as well? We've got nobody to come in is the big problem. But do you potentially need to rest Hall as well? You know, as you see, we've got a little bit of time this week, so that might help work. But I think you do need to start really, really thinking about, you know, we're halfway through the season now. We need to be using this. We need to be using this squad and sort of getting ourselves into a place where players aren't playing week in, week out. I mean, Bruno's the other one. Does Bruno get dropped? Because that lad looked like he was running through toffee. And so, at some points the other day, do you bring Willock in? Do you bring somebody else in to cover him?
But you see, Niall's put in there, and I mean, he's talking about. I'll put it on the screen so you guys can follow along. Eddie was funny. He was going down the game management route, and then he skips over until 2-2. Didn't mention his mistakes of not making changes to stop it going from 2-1 to 2-2. And I think that is spot on. And I think, like I said, everybody that was watching the game, apart from Eddie and the team, the backroom staff, realised that the problem wasn't the forward line as so much; it was more the midfield. And the changes needed to happen there first, or at least a change in slight formation just to stop the thing going forward. Go on, mate. Do you want to do this one?
Yeah, but I'm just flashing a few up as we go through as well, Gary. But we're working to keep the defence the same. I'm sorry, it's gone. Basically, we're saying we're working to keep the defence the same. We keep tight and make sure that we have the ball when best times. That's exactly it. Sometimes you do just need to make sure you keep hold of the ball. And I know Win hates the pendulum football, but it is a way of doing it. So you sort of you do take a little bit of the time out of the game and a bit of you don't put yourself under pressure because you're just playing the ball amongst yourselves. And I think at times that it's a struggle because you do want to have this high intensity football that we all love, but I think at times you do need to do that. Just take the sting out of the game. I think was the olden way of saying it. You know, just play it about between yourselves for a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I say, when you saw the pendulum change when we scored against Barcelona, just see what they did with the ball. You know, when we were on that press, when we were on the attack, they just knocked the ball 5 yards to each other because eventually what happens is you give in. You know, there's only so much you can run between lines before you say, you know what, have the ball. You know, we'll wait for you to bring the ball forward and then we'll go again. the problem is Newcastle have that type of player. Does Newcastle have that style of player to be able to do that? And again, that's where I'm a little bit on the doubtful side, because as we see, Bruno gives the ball away quite cheaply at times. Tonali gives the ball away quite cheaply at times. The lad who has appeared to be the one that holds onto the ball very well, doesn't give the ball away cheaply, hasn't really featured much, and that was Ramsey. And again, he seems to be a bit part player. Like I say, my postie, he's an amazing Villa fan, and he talks to me all the time about we didn't need Ramsey going; he could have helped us out massively. Even though he said he is prone to the injuries now and again. Go on, mate.
Christina, would you change this team at all? How would you set up?
I mean, I would probably take out Murphy for Barnes, or I'm not sure if he'll be able to get Barnes to play on the left. One comment in chat did make a good point, though, that if you take out Murphy, Miley loses a bit of cover. But I think with the fact that Eddie Howe has said that Murphy's got a knock, that there is a fair chance that Murphy gets dropped from this game, and I would definitely prefer to go with Barnes over Elanga. Outside of that, to be honest with you, I mean, I was delighted with the performance of the weekend, so I wouldn't personally want to change anything too much. I think in regards to the passing, is part of the reason why Bruno gives the ball away so much, because he is always looking to do something rather than playing that simple possession keeping pass. So I think we've got the players who can do that; they're just not doing it. But in regards to changes, Barnes on the team, and again, I don't know if he's going to start with Wissa or Walter Mara. Except for that, I'm happy with that lineup. Lewis might be Albert, but right back.
Yeah, I think as you say, sometimes the stats hide the facts because I quite like that round. The stats hide the facts because the likes of it, as you say, with the Bruno's always trying to play the ball forward and trying to be positive. Whereas the likes of a Ramsey the other night was very much keep the ball retention, play it around. So it depends. As I say, sometimes when you do all the stats, you have to remember what you've actually seen in the game. So the likes of it, as you see, Bruno will try to play the positive ball, whereas sometimes if you try to play a negative ball, it does make you look better as in regard to your percentages and things. So there's a little bit both ways, I think, with stats.
Yeah, no, I agree, and that's why that's why I wanted to mention that, just with you talking about like the team needing to keep possession a little bit more and us not doing it, and the mention of Bruno giving the ball away a lot. I think it is mostly because of what he tries to do. I mean, he does try to be that driving force in midfield. He's not a keep it simple kind of guy. I mean, he can set the entire game alight with what he can do with his passes, with these little turns that he does. He's a fantastic footballer, and I think that's what works against him stat wise. Is just that he's always trying to do something. But I mean, there's no doubt that he's a fantastic player for the team, and I think he fits into what Newcastle need as well. Like, I wouldn't want him to become too much more conservative, because I think the way he plays, it gives us that extra little lift, and it also gives the crowd a lift. Like, anytime he goes in for a tackle, he's chatting. Every time he's trying to do something with the ball, and when he does pull it off, it's amazing, and it makes other players around him better as well. I think he could be big for Langa. I mean, Mickey Almiron was like Lionel Messi for half a season, because Bruno Guimaraes was just putting balls right onto his foot. So,
100%.
He's got that in his locker.
Do you want us to do this super chat, Gary? Happy birthday, Win. Party with the pals, Moses Noah. I think that's the problem he's having the light, lads. He's trying to rebuild the ark.
Right, well, bless him. He's trying to get on.
Yes, he's in the background.
Yes, but we've got him as an ornament. We're bringing Win as the eye candy today. We're not letting him talk too much, but he's here, so you can see him, you can enjoy his presence. Yeah, I mean,
I think he's on the phone at technical support.
He's on the phone. He's on the phone of my company.
1, 2.
Oh, hey!
Oh, wait a
We can hear you.
Oh, they just heard me there.
I can hear you now.
We can hear you now.
You can hear me now, and I can hear you.
That sounds like a good start.
Right, okay. Are we there? Are we there? Yes.
We can hear you.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Thank the Lord for that. Good evening, one and all.
Good evening.
Wayne. I think, Boke, you wanted to take over this point, didn't you?
I did, mate. I was just going to say, there's seemingly a bit of a legend from the town who's got a birthday the other day. Just wanted to say a very, very happy birthday to him. Thank him for everything that he's done for, the whole area and things like that. So if we can all just put our hands together for Michael Chopra. Happy birthday, lad.
Indeed. Michael Chopper, same birthday as me. Correct.
And happy birthday to you as well, Win.
Niall Paul saying happy 100th. New Year's honours list for Win.
He's not actually 100, though, right? Like that.
Close.
I thought it was a joke yesterday, but then when you just brought up that, I was like, oh, I've had a mistake in that.
I've got no idea what happened with the sound there. None at all. I've been, well, as you know. Right. Anyway, never mind. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Man United versus Newcastle United. There's only one United, really.
So what's your thoughts on this team, Win? Just read it out here, can you see?
I can see most of it. Obviously, I'm not happy at Miley playing right back, even though he's done very, very well.
Hall's at left back and Gordon's at the left field. Yeah, if you're on the right, Wisser up front.
Am I going with Wisser up front, giving Walter Mara a rest? I don't know. I think, let's say some kahunas, for want of a better expression.
Well, he plays for Manchester.
Let's have some kahunas and let's have Baltimore and Wisser.
I think if there is a game to do that, it might be against Manchester with their three at the back. They're a little bit less
and especially with their current situation, Fernandez out, all the African boys out. Let's do it. Give it a try, see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, do you not think you should be going at, like I say, a bit of pace at these guys because they're a bit static at the back. Easy to cut through. Yoro seems to be all over the place at the moment. I don't know who this Heaven is. This young lad who's playing centre of the two with Luke
played
Shaw.
away in the last game.
Yeah, again, for me, I'd be looking at a little bit of pace against these. Again, somebody's put in there, if J7's fit, do you throw J7 in with Casemiro being in there? Somebody who's going to get involved. But I don't think that you'd need to. I think if you've got ball players against these two in the middle, because, what they'll try and do is box into here. We know Cunha likes to go out on the outside, but what I've seen so far, Cunha's played more inside left. And Dorgu has gone, down the wing a little bit, and he's developing that side. So I'm not sure, like I say, whether this will play into our hands because, as you've seen, you've just mentioned Miley. With this formation now, with Miley coming into here, allowing Bruno to play into the hole, I think you had some nice work with these five against Chelsea. Well, it wasn't obviously Wiston at the start, but you could see the openings and space that they were creating with Miley being able to come from this right back into the situation. So
Wiz has got the pace. Wiz has got the pace you're looking for. Steve is saying, "Win, you're happy with Burn at the back, but not Miley at right back." Listen, Miley at right back is okay because, as with Dan at left back, there's very little alternative.
Who do you think's been better, Dan Burn at left back or Lewis Miley at right back?
Stats will tell you that one.
It depends how long. It depends how long you're looking at. But all I'm saying is, I do not want to see Lewis Maley doing really well at right back. I know that sounds stupid, because I think you're just taking so much from his game.
Doesn't that mean some fantastic ball playing right backs, like the two that I mentioned a lot, Cafu, Danny Alves? I mean, there are some legendary players that are good ball players from right back.
You're absolutely right. Tony saying, senile, you're not there yet, Win. Some disagree. Thanks, Tony. I mean, listen. Yeah,
I felt senile trying to get in the studio the night, I tell you.
For me, I think he, like I say, his metrics have been outstanding at right back the last 2 games.
Yeah.
And I think that is, like I said, when he comes into that 6 role, for me, he gives us a different look. And there's elements of all the game that you can actually nitpick. And I said, sometimes naivety can create us our own problems, especially when you're trying to play out from the back. So sometimes what you need to do, and what you see, opposite teams do, even the likes of Man City, they'll just clear the lines and then they'll regroup and then they'll get at you in a different form. Newcastle sometimes do try and play themselves out of danger, deep in the right-hand side, deep in that left-hand side, and Louis Hall makes mistakes. Everybody that plays left or right back will make mistakes in those situations, played under a press, unless you just clear your lines and reshape. So, like I say, I think there's still room for improvement, but I think he's been absolutely outstanding.
I agree.
Interesting question there from Steely, wherever he was.
19 Steely.
That's him.
Oh. Who's fighting with him?
Oh, there we go. Me. How is it taking away from Maley's game win? And if you stick an E on the end again, of that how, I would say how is taking it away from Maley's game.
Wow, Wynn's went how up? Oh my goodness.
Wait a minute. Like, get this back up. Get off everybody else. Right. How, I would say, how is taking it away from Maley's game by playing him at right back. Now, albeit that right at this moment in time, we're struggling for alternatives, which is why he's playing right back, which is why Dan Burn was playing left back, etc., etc., etc. But I do not want to see him, if we sell Livramento because he wants to go, I do not want to see Maley confined to right back, because I think you're taking so much away from his game.
I think it's good with young players when at times to
I agree.
And he'll learn that role, so that in the future, if we do need to make changes in game, he can then slip back into that right back role, or he can, he understands the defensive side of the game a lot better by playing there. So we can look at negatives, but I think you've got to look at the positives as well, and how he is trying to develop that lad and give him obviously options for his career for the future. I mean, it could be that he turns into a brilliant right back and we want him to play there.
Yeah, well, he's already been nicknamed the Maldini, hasn't he? So, I mean, that's heady heights and a heady name that he's to try and get involved with. But I mean, for me, the one thing that I look at this now, and I'm saying everybody.
I think Maley is too good for right back.
Well, if you just give me the opportunity to, if he's going to take the place of Tonali as a 6, playing right back will be the way forward for him to adopt into that role easier than playing right or left side of midfield, because they're both totally different roles. So if he stays in that defensive mindset and sees the game in front of him and how it develops, and he drops into that right 6 with Tonali going left 6, allowing Bruno and whoever's left midfield, Ramsey, to move forward, then I think you have got the option there of him developing a more of a natural 6's game, playing at right back, than you do anywhere else. Win says, I agree with everything Win says today. Birthday boy. There you go. Says Tony. Whatever you say, mate, is happening. PDK saying, what happened to the man who stole an advent calendar? He got 25 days. There you go. Keep them coming. And, you know, like I said, I think what we've got at the minute, like I say, yes, it's a makeshift back 4, if you like. But again, I go back to how Lewis Hall has adapted to that left back role. Still a lot to learn, but he was a left midfielder, remember, you know, and he's still adapting to that role as left back. I think Miley can do the job. It's proved that because they put 2 players on him, and even then Chelsea struggled to get by him. Yes, he had some support, but like I say, playing Neto on that left-hand side, which left them wide open on the right-hand side, which is, you know, I was criticised by saying that by some of our fans, by saying, why don't we just double up, especially when their fullbacks are on a yellow card? Just go and test them. You know, and everybody kept on saying, well, you're exposing the opposite side, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes we forget that it's happening to us on a regular occasion. It happened to Dan Burn a couple of times where they see it as that weak link. So I think we've got to be under that same mentality at times and potentially go and take it to the team. But like I said, for me, I think as daft as it looks, whatever team Newcastle put out against Man U, we're going to come to this in a minute because I want to ask you whether this game, and I've thrown some questions out to you guys. It's an interesting one for me because let's do some talking points. Is this a must not lose rather than must win game? Does avoiding defeat matter more than chasing 3 points? And would fans accept a draw given their recent inconsistency on both sides? So let's just look at that for your starting point. Is it a must not lose rather than a must win?
For me, it's a must win.
Okay.
Especially under the circumstances.
I mean, I must admit, at this present moment in time, I agree with you.
We are never, ever going to get a better chance to beat Man United at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
I think normally with it being away and with our away form at the moment, I would have normally said it's a must not lose. But with the form or lack of form that Manchester United have shown this season, I think this is kind of must win because if we can't beat a shattered Manchester United side, that's not a great sign. So I do think this is kind of must win.
That's exactly where I am.
I think it's a must not give away the lead game. I think if we win it, I know that's a little bit funny, but it wasn't meant as a joke. I think if we go into this and we get a lead, he needs to prove the fact that he can keep the lead, and we need to see him do the in-game management to prove the fact that he's got the skills to make sure that he can do that. So it is a must-win game. All games are must-win, basically, in my view. You should be winning everything you possibly can. But in regards to this one, it's a must not lose the lead. So if we go ahead, he cannot afford to throw away another lead.
Yeah,
we can't have these stats. We can't have these stats keep building up of how many points. Is it 13 now we've lost this season? We can't just let that stat keep building up, because all it does is give me like the likes of me the chance to bash you guys against the head with it. So, you need to change that.
Yeah, but when you look at teams that sometimes can throw somebody on, as we saw against Chelsea, that are able just to change the structure of the game slightly. Saw it with Enzo. United at this present moment in time are very much where Newcastle are, because they have got this problem that there's nobody on the bench of any stature really. Xerxes. Who else have they got? Mainu's injured. Fernandes is injured. They've got Leon. Like I say, they've got Obi. And they've got the young kid, Lacey. He'll be on the bench. He may even start, like I say, and he may take a punt with him. He's a good player, but I don't think he's at that level yet. And apart from the likes of Martinez, who's obviously more of a deep midfielder, centre back, if you like. Again, have they got anybody on the bench that can actually come and change this game? And I don't think they have. And that's what I said. For me, this is a must-win game, rather than must not lose or must not give the game away. Because for me, if Eddie Howe wanted to make a tactical change to try something out, it'd be against these on their home turf, because they are weak when it comes to a setup anyway. Because this system, even though the Christmas tree system is a great system, if you've got players that can utilise it, they've got a front line that can utilise it, and they've potentially got a midfield that can utilise it, but they're missing one extra player. But their back line is weak. So if you're going into that philosophy, we've got to score 4 goals because we know we're going to concede 3. That isn't how you manage a team. So I think if Newcastle can get at these really early, put that quietness across the crowd, I think what you could do then is tweak a system to see the game out and really get at them by passing the ball through them rather than trying this high press constantly and knacking us out within 60 minutes, where the 3 changes come on and that just nullifies Newcastle. Doesn't nullify Manchester United. It'll just nullify Newcastle, as we've seen time and time again.
Do you think if he had the balls to put the 2 of them up front, Wissa and Voldemort, just thought to himself, look, I'm going to go for this, would any fan call him out for that? Because I certainly wouldn't. I would think that was...
Neither would I.
That was a great idea it's a Man United side that's depleted.
Yeah.
We're a team that we know we can't at the minute defend a lead. We know we're depleted in defence. So let's go for it. Let's stick 2 up front and absolutely just, go drop Ramsey, stick Toon Army and Bruno in central midfield, which they don't overload their midfield, so we're not going to get overloaded in there. You play the 2 wingers, you tell them, stick on the line, put crosses into the box, and the 2 would just go for it, just give it a chance.
I agree with you. I think if you're
on that subject, Pookie, which 2 wingers are you talking about?
Well, personally, I would go, if you're going for that strategy, you go Gordon right and Barnes left for me.
I would like to say that. I don't think he's going to be able to convince Gordon to play on the right, but I would love to see that happen.
So you're taking Ramsey out, yeah?
Take Ramsey out. If you take Ramsey out, stick Wissa in with Voldemort, and let's just go for it. It's Boxing Day. We're the only team that's playing a game. Let's go out and show the Premier League what we can do. Let's go out and show the world what we can do. It's going to be a worldwide audience. If you go out and play attacking football with 2 strikers on the pitch and absolutely go for it, worst case, you lose. Potentially we'll do that anyway if we go with a defensive formation. Just go out and try. Just go for it.
All I would say about that is, for me, I would definitely be playing Murphy on the right. And I would also be playing Gordon on the left, not because he's better than Barnes, but because Barnes is a far better player to be having to take off the bench than what Gordon is.
I've got absolutely no problem with that win. Whichever wingers you play, there's, apart from Elanga, the muchness, so you can choose from the 3. I would never put Elanga in because he just seems to be completely off the ball. Completely off the ball at the minute. But let's just go for it. Let's as I say, it's a worldwide audience. Let's show the world what Newcastle United can do.
Exactly.
So you want Murphy on?
I want Murphy right.
Yeah. That's fine.
I think because Wynne wasn't here at the start, the only reason that we had Murphy rested this game was because of the rumours of him still carrying an injury. Except for that, I think we would have all been fine with Murphy on the right.
Yeah, I mean, there's been nothing mentioned in any of the presser about this thigh niggle that he had, so maybe he's had the clearance now to play, where before he hadn't got it, had he? Mercury died.
Wow,
there
thank
go.
you, Mercury.
Wow.
Thank you, mate. Excellent. Happy birthday, Win. Gabby Gary, proud of you, stunning and brave.
And I don't know what got Irish in before there either. Simple, really. Beat them 2 out and we go above them.
That's it.
Dead
Absolutely.
easy.
You're absolutely bang on. I mean, like I say, for me, if you're gonna,
And Tony
if
T,
you're gonna have a
Gabby,
go,
Gabby. Very proud of you. Stunning and brave.
good lad. Thank you very much. This great football channel, says Lucky Singh. Thank you, mate. Like I said, if you're going to have a go at tinkering, then why not have a go against these, like you say, when they are at the worst, if you like, because of their injuries and AFCON and suspensions alike. So, it is PDK again. Here we go. Let's do this one. Doctor, I've got all crumbly like a cheese biscuit. Your crackers. Yeah, there you go. Love them. The crackers jokes are coming thick and fast. But I mean, like I say, for me, it's a must not lose. It's a must win.
No, it's a must win for me.
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
must not lose.
So Eddie Howe,
I don't look at that the same way. I just think that it's a must be better. It must be better than what we've seen. So it must be sort of, where you can see a bit of progression. You can see Eddie changing something. So if it's about how, I think if he went out and did that team that we've just put up there, I'd be over the moon with that. And if we're lost, we've tried something different. We've went out. He's had the as I say, the balls to change the team. He's had the balls to change the system. He's went for a win 100%. As long as the players are trying, as long as he's got that, he's shown a development in his style of management, I think that all has to be a positive thing.
We'll never get a better chance. Thank you, Corey. Happy birthday, my friend. Have a great day, mate. Thank you, Corey.
Thanks, Corey.
3 seconds. Sorry, can I just I'll be back in 2 seconds?
Yeah, of course, mate. Of course.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Should that not have been "Have a great day, mate"?
Yeah.
Have a great day, mate.
Have a great day, mate. Yeah. Well, happy birthday, Sheila. One of the two. It's a for me, like when I say it's a must not lose type of situation, I don't think you are going to have a better opportunity to beat these back to back like we could do with this team. And like I say, if they aren't up for this at Old Trafford, I'll be questioning what is going on with this team when it comes to the big boy pants time, because there's definite options that he could certainly utilise when it comes to it. But like, it doesn't matter what team he puts out.
I can hear Goldbridge already.
Crikey, yeah.
With the win excuses.
Yeah.
Saying, well, we did have.
Yeah, absolutely. It could be. It may not be. It possibly is. Jacob is doing okay. It's his issues we are managing. That's what he's on about with Jacob Murphy. He is fit and available, but some days he has been sore. So we are just trying to manage his workload. So that's what the Jacob...
Niall's got a point there, right? The only problem is if we don't have a forward to replace, if you play Walter and Wisser.
Yeah.
If we don't have a forward off the bench to replace one of them if they get injured or whatever, then my argument to that is let's worry about that if it happens.
Exactly. My argument of that would be what happens if Shaw or
exactly.
get injured. We've got nobody on the bench to replace them either. It's all ifs, buts and maybes. Let's not go into a game like that. Let's just go in positive.
Exactly.
We've got a prime time. I mean, for worldwide audience, this is going to be an amazing game for us because, I mean, it's not good for the fans. The fans have been absolutely, I can't swear, but they've been pooped on from a high height by putting it on in a Boxing Day when there's no travel. But in all realistic, the other way, we've got a prime time audience. There's going to be everybody sitting down thinking, what can we do? Well, it's Boxing Day, we'll sit and watch this Magic match. And if we go out there and absolutely attack, show passion, show, what type of players we've got, the players are what they normally are, they're brilliant. If Howe picks the team that's there to beat them, we could get, you've got to remember the consequences of doing something like that is you're going to start getting a lot more fans from overseas as well. So let's just go for it. It's Christmas. We can do a Christmas miracle and we'll go down there and absolutely smash them.
Well, yeah, as Irish saying, that's an extra Christmas present. You're in Goldbridge mourning and crying.
Oh, I know. Oh, how beautiful will that be?
And
Oh, I
Tony
love
T
it.
saying, with 5 days rest, do you expect 70 plus minutes of 100 miles an hour? That's what I want to see. I just want to see high press, high press, high press.
Yeah.
Hey, did
I
you
just wanna
guys
see
know
attack.
we weren't
Attack.
top of the league when it comes to the average time for the first substitute? It's really interesting this because I thought we would be up there when it comes to it. But when I looked at there's a list, an average time of first substitution in the Premier League. Newcastle are, where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th in the list. So our average time is around about the 70th minute when you look at it. Crystal Palace go a little bit longer. They're the top of the list. They go 75 minutes before they make a change. And Chelsea are the team at the minute that seem to be making all the early moves with 63 minutes on average. So there you go. So Chelsea are at the top of the list regarding the earliest change. Crystal Palace are at the other end with the longest change, and we sit right in the middle on 70.
But hang on a sec, Gary. What are you saying there? That the shortest is 63.
So the shortest time, 63 minutes, and that's Chelsea.
And
Arsenal
the longest is
67, 75, which is Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, Brentford, and Burnley. Manchester
it's still
City,
late
Leeds.
for me.
What, 75 minutes?
No, but for the average to be between 60 and 75.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Obviously, there's a difference when you look at that, though, Win, because you've got in-game management where a team needs to adjust, as we saw at Chelsea. They'll make a decision. They started off with the same team, but it wasn't long before it all changed, and Enzo came onto the field because he saw there was no change from whatever they chatted in the background in the dressing room. Chelsea actually approached the game in the same vein, and it wasn't as daft it looks. Enzo coming in and Palmer going out seemed to be the catalyst to go moving to get them going. So I thought Palmer was absolutely useless, to be fair, for them.
I think with those figures, though, Gary, they can be slightly skew-whiffed, can't they? Because if you've got injuries, potentially, I know it'll equal itself out a little bit, but if you've got an injury, you're going to bring somebody on earlier. But also, if you're winning already, there's a lot of managers that'll make the substitutions at the very end of the game. So it'll look like if you average it out, that you're making the subs around that time. However, potentially you're making them earlier. It's just that you're making a sub at the end of the game, which adds the time on, if you like, sort of. So you add minutes to what the average will be.
Yeah. So this is across all of the matches so far. So it's denounced, and you're right. I mean, it will change, obviously through injuries and everything else. But on average, that is the minutes that the teams are making substitutions. And we've always known Eddie Howe is a 65 to 70 minute man, isn't he? He's always in and around that area.
Is there an argument that that's because he's got faith in his starting lineup, though?
Well, I mean, that
Too
is,
much faith.
At
times for me.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Eddie Howe's 200th game then. Is it progress or plateau? Has Newcastle improved despite league position and our fans judging results without factoring in the dilemma in the summer, injuries and depth of squad? So,
all you've got to do is look at league results, Premier League results, since Howe took over. And he's still right up there in the top 4 or 5. I think this season, Villa might just have, but them being 11 ahead at the minute, They may just have shaded us now. I need to check that out. But it's there or thereabout. What, you know.
Yeah.
He's still there.
Eddie Howe's done well so far. I'm not going to go back over trying to praise him up because it makes us feel a bit churny in the stomach. But in regards to this now, he has plateaued. He hasn't changed. Things are stale. We do need a change, but let's not be disrespectful to the guy and not say that he hasn't done a great job. He's done a brilliant job up to this season. This season's been a massive plateau. We've tapered off. We're all where we are now. And he sort of, it's time for someone.
Until we win the next 10.
To be fair though, we're in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. We're still in the Champions League with a chance of qualifying in that. We're still in the FA Cup. And we're still within shooting distance of the top 4 or 5 teams in the league. So, I mean, if that's plateauing, I certainly prefer that over what happened to us, under some previous managers where we've not had such a happy standing.
You guys have all seen the games. I don't need to sit here and argue, and I don't want to because it's Christmas and we're all happy. But, you guys have seen the games this season. You know that we've plateaued. You know the season hasn't been good enough. We can carry on using all the excuses that we do, everything that...
Not excuses, reasons.
But he has plateaued. There's nothing changed at that club. It's gone stale.
I'll grant you it's gone stale. That's largely for me because we haven't had the players to come in.
Yeah, I think you've got to remember we've played a lot.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Irish Assassin, thank you for your $5.
Indeed.
We play Burnley 4 days later. Burnley only have 3 days rest. We should go all out with 2 attackers. Let's make the 6 points up now. That's my philosophy.
Well, that was going to be half of my argument for why we should really push against Manchester United, because with all due respect, it's only Burnley next. And I apologise if there's any Burnley fans watching this, but they're not Chelsea, they're not Man City, they're not a team that we should look at as being, okay, we need to keep something in reserve for that. Like, our squad should be able to manage that match.
Yeah.
But,
and that's the thing, can we?
But we struggled against Burnley in the Premier League at home.
Yeah, so you're right. About that, though.
You're right, but you look back to the Burnley game. I was sitting there, and it was we're lucky it wasn't another 2-2. It was it was one of those games again where we just didn't control it when we had the lead.
But do you not think since the Sunderland game we have looked a little bit better, as if that's kind of lit a fire up under us a little bit? Because I think our performances overall, even though the results haven't been massively better, I think if you look at the dross that we played in that Sunderland game since then, I think we've played some of our best football this season since then.
What points?
Let's face it, we couldn't play any worse.
What points we got since then? Wynn went on about the 5-5-5 at the start of last season for ages. He stopped with that crack now because...
I haven't.
Fair enough. How many points did we have at this point last season? So you went on 5-5-5 for ages. We're on less points now than we had last season, a lot less.
So much fun. I'm not going to argue with Wynn on his birthday because it's Christmas.
We're on 6-5-6 now.
We're on what, sorry?
6-5-6. So we've won one more, lost one more.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, to me, it's like it has evened itself out a little bit. But I've never seen the Premier League like it is at the moment, where everybody is literally beating everybody else on the day. And that's what I said. You throw a few results together, and this game, this Premier League can change literally on its head. And that's the frustrating thing. And the next thing I want to talk to you about is the refs. The penalty issue. Our Newcastle referee differently, and I said this before. Every time you go to a big club, and I'm saying that in inverted commas, because obviously we know Old Trafford has its call as well with referees. Should the club be more vocal publicly? Well, it's the first time we've heard them say today that they're obviously putting out there to the PGMOL. So fingers crossed they can do that. Or should they just stay behind the scenes and not publicly shout out about it? Because, like I say, Eddie Howe very rarely washes his dirty laundry in public. But I think, we are at that time now where we have to start questioning some of these decisions that have gone against us.
I think it's time we did go public.
Absolutely.
Because if nothing else, it might prevent the trend that we seem to be happening.
Plus, I think it gives, because one of the criticisms I've heard against Eddie Howe from, people who aren't as happy with Eddie as me, has been that he's always very conservative, always very political. And I've always backed the idea that he's like that with the players. But I think in instances like this, instances like this, I think it's good to see him getting a little bit of fire on him and just being like, hey, we're going to call this out. Like, we're not standing for this. I really like seeing that. And I think that could also, like, if the public image of Eddie was, detracting from any of the players' fire, I think that's going to kind of change that. I think maybe they're going to see and be okay. Do you have a manager who's going to go out there publicly and fight for us?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, for me, we can see that in Eddie. And that's why I question whether his loyalty is too loyal. You get too close sometimes. And rather than manage the team, you tend to go with the overall view. And it's like you're fearful of making a change. And we've seen, and we've heard from Wynne, who had that talk about the Wilson and Isak situation where he wouldn't drop Isak even though he was performing terribly. There's all sorts of crap you can bring up. I just want, like I say, for me, this is the time of year now where we want to make sure that we're on the best trajectory we can be on when it comes to getting the results. And like I say, maybe he has to drop certain players to do that. And them players, like I say, aren't bigger than the club. They have to accept that and be on board with that. And it's okay, Eddie, wanting to keep the dressing room harmony. But I do also think, is it the fact that you're now looking at trying to manage the squad as a whole rather than individual players and get the best out of the individual players by managing the squad? And I think sometimes we were talking yesterday, weren't we? The arm around the shoulder, the kick up the backside. Eddie doesn't seem to be that risk taker when it comes to calling a player out and vocally suggesting that, he's let us down. And some people, like, Jamie said, he likes that of Eddie. He likes him, the fact that he likes the wrapping him up in cotton wool to a degree. I'm not saying that you should throw any player under the bus, but I also don't think you should not tell a lie, but, speak the truth if there's an issue there. Wynne was questioning yesterday about the Asula when I brought the Asula thing up, where them two had words behind the scenes. And I've read it again today on one of the social media views where, it looks like it's more the Asula now that wants out rather than Newcastle are pushing him away. I think they've come to the decision now that Asula just doesn't want to be at Newcastle anymore.
Just a quick point, Gary. After a game, when was the last time you seen Eddie Howe sort of go up to the referee and give him a telling off, saying, "Look,
never.
You haven't given me you haven't given me a decision the day. You've let me down. That was rubbish. So show some passion." I've never ever seen him do that.
No.
That manager too. It's not his personality, but you would love to see that from him once in a while. Especially when he gets a bad decision against him, get up in the referee's face after the game. That's what other managers do.
Does it do anything more? Does it? It just leads to possibly a fine or a yellow card for Eddie Howe,
but it shows the fans' passion. It shows the fans that he's got that fight in his belly for it.
But does it not show the players as well?
It shows the players as well, yeah.
If you've got a manager who's going to go and question it, if you've got to question every decision that's been made against you, it does show them that there's support there, and it's not just us that's let you down, Gaffer. You've seen that it's the referee. But we know it's Eddie Howe. That's Eddie Howe's style. He's a gentleman. He's Pep Guardiola. You saw lifting the cameraman's earphones off him and giving him a rollicking down his ear, which he apologised for. I think there's a very fine line when it comes to that, and I saw the Lampard situation the weekend where obviously he was chased by a lot of the Southampton players for celebrating in front of their dugout, but apparently he'd been having a lot of jibes from the Southampton lot all through the match. And when Coventry scored, he was like, I'm going to give you some back. And they didn't like that. And that's what I said.
That's exactly what the point is. Fair enough, the Southampton fans will hear it and he'll probably get a fine because of what happened on the pitch and everything. But the Coventry fans now, he'll be in, like, he's basically he's lifted himself to a new level with them simply by doing that, because they've seen his passion for their team, they've seen the fact that it meant something to him, and it's a big thing. Should we quickly do this super chat?
Yeah, carry on, mate.
Yeah. Time for an old-fashioned. Irish is going to have an old-fashioned. Raise the glass to me. Thank you very much, Irish.
That's also the super chat goal hit already in the stream. So
thank you, everyone.
Fantastic that.
Keep them coming. Thank you so much. Like I say, great present from you lot to all of us. So it's lovely to have you on board. Let's go on with the next one then. Bruno is at risk, obviously, with the suspension. So do you manage him carefully, or do you say, you know what, we can do without you if you do pick up another yellow card, and it's probably against the best team that you're going to be missing you against Burnley, or do you let him play on the edge, like I say, and if he does get a yellow card, so be it.
Can we do
without him?
I would let him go for it. I mean, to be fair, we've now given minutes to Ramsey, we've given minutes to Willock, he's back in. We've got Miley when we've got cover right back. We have midfielders now. J7 is apparently very close to coming back as well. I don't know if that was mentioned in the press conference, but it's been mentioned online, as if Eddie Howe said it recently. So on the back of that, I would let him go out there and show all of his passion. I definitely wouldn't have him holding back at Old Trafford.
No, I mean,
you can't have
the results without him.
Yeah,
no, exactly. We've seen the demise of J7.
Get a yellow card. Sort of. What happens if the next step he gets a red card and he's suspended even longer?
I don't want him to get a yellow card.
You've got to manage him. You've got to say to him, try not to get one. Sort of. He did it a few seasons ago when we were on the run. He says to I remember he said to the boss, well, I didn't say because I wasn't here, but he said to the boss, look, I'm not going to get a yellow card. And Eddie Howe even himself went, yeah, right. But he went for, I can't remember how many games, was it 10 games? Or
he did. He went
for a long time.
Crazy amount, didn't he?
10
games. I don't want him to get a yellow card. I just wouldn't restrain him too much.
That's the thing, isn't it? We saw the drop-off with J7, didn't we? When J7 was on them tinder hooks. And his game changed massively. He wasn't a committed player like he is in the middle of the park. And I think, if you start going about your game in that manner where you become a little bit fearful to put a challenge in.
I don't think that was the case with Bruno last year, though.
What, he was fearful of putting a foot in? No, I didn't. I didn't say. I just think, like I say, with Bruno though, sometimes you can get that little bit of a, I'll be going to throw my toys out the pram situation. He can become a little bit niggly towards players, getting players' faces and things like that. He stopped all that. There was none of that from Bruno. He got involved, but he certainly made sure that there was an opportunity to get the ball when he did so.
Sorry, that was me.
That's all right.
Christina, we've got a question for you there. Christina, can I ask, are you a local Toon fan?
Yes.
That's from Snake.
Does it matter?
I mean, I am.
Yes. She's from Blythe.
I want to know where that question came from, though. If Snake Bites doesn't mind explaining why he's asked that question or why they've asked that question.
To be fair, that's all work. I think it's just to find out whether we're local fans or we're a little bit further away.
Yeah, I was born in the General Hospital, so I think I was for 12 years when I was a kid, but I moved back. And I came right back up here to my home, so yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Irish is saying Bruno should go for it against Man U, miss him for Burnley if he does get a yellow. If he doesn't play against Burnley, avoid yellow cards, and then get set to the 10 yellows after the 19th game. Absolutely.
Exactly.
That's how
what you
I look at it.
Because I was about to ask that. I didn't know if it reset at the new year or if it was after a specific
No, it's
number of games.
19 games is the cut-off, but then if he gets another... If you've had 5 and you get another 2, then it can be 3 games.
That's just confusing.
You've got like 7 games to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So we know Man U are vulnerable. So it's 10 games without a clean sheet. So it's not coincidence. And it's obviously a structural problems because obviously Amorim sticks to his system. And even though he hasn't got players to play in the system, he'll stick with it. Is this the right moment to play them away?
Oh, 100%.
For me, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we get a better chance, do we? Breaking that. Well, it's nearly 100 bloody years. Was it 1935? Did I say when we last beat them twice in the same year? So obviously selection debate. I mean, would you start conservatively or go for United early?
Yeah. Sorry, Bulky.
No, that was my thing. Go for it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, no, I would absolutely go for it. I think Manchester, and I'm a little bit worried about being overconfident because every time I've predicted 9-0 to be the result, we have ended up throwing away points. So I don't want to be overconfident, but I think this is definitely a good time to be playing against Manchester. And especially with our turnaround in form, like I've mentioned, since Sunderland, we've definitely played better. And I think this could not be a better marriage of times between what Manchester United are going through with their inconsistency and what we are going through with our, dare I say, resurgence this season.
Yeah,
resurgence.
I mean, that's
it. Numbers, but I can come up with some pretty posh words sometimes.
Oh, I love it.
No, I think you need some evidence to back that up, though.
The Chelsea game, the performance of the 2 games since the Sunderland game is my evidence for that. I think the Chelsea game has been one of our best performances just because of how positive
Absolutely, I agree with that.
So I think,
guys, first half, second half, we went back to same old of conceding.
No, we didn't.
We drew. So we did.
2 goals, right? But we didn't defend. We didn't sit back. We didn't invite.
We did not sit back.
We had Martial tripped off his laces, and then Harvey Barnes nearly volleyed one into the back of the net at the end of the game, and that was after all of Maresca's in-game management that he supposedly did so well.
I think this is another thing we need to stop. Is all this we could have, we should have, we would have. We are where we're at, so you know we can't sit here and keep going back to likes of Fulham, for example, win. We could have won 7-0, 7-1. Fair enough, we could have, but we didn't. So let's go with the actual facts of where we're at, and the facts are we're not doing well enough. We're not doing well enough in the league. We're not doing well.
The facts are we're 6 points off Champions League.
Yeah,
100%.
Well, what facts are you looking at here? Because the fact is, we did play well against Chelsea. We did have 2 penalties denied. We did nearly win the game twice after they had pulled it back to 2s each. These are intangibly facts.
But let's not hide the fact that we were 2-0 up against Chelsea. Your counter answer to that question, that point is we were 2-0 up against Chelsea and we threw away a 2-goal lead. You know, let's go with the actual facts. So you can go back to any game and say, this could have happened, that could have happened. And that's football. That's what football is about. But the only thing you can actually go on the basis of is what actually happened at the end of the game. What was the result? And the results haven't been good enough. That's the top and bottom of it.
But
I've been for too long. I'm losing it now. So we need to be realistic.
But also, what you're saying is that the performances haven't been good enough.
Well, they haven't, because we haven't got the points.
Right. But here's the thing. If you're judging it on performance, we've actually nearly got the points.
But when again, you're going back to the fact that could have, should have, would have. That's not
Okay,
what
so
that's not
let's.
what we need. We're halfway through the
Yeah.
season now.
So
No, no,
we've got half a season to go.
The season, you can't keep going back to what could have happened, should have happened, or would have happened. You know, the
Okay,
point now where we are, and league-wise, we are not good enough.
I've got a fact for you though.
Go
On
on, then.
Saturday, we played against a team that was fourth in the league, and we managed to get a point from them.
Where
So
did
it's
Chelsea
always
finish?
going to look. It's always going to matter on how you look at it.
Where did Chelsea finish last season?
You can't go back and look at last season. You've got to
Well,
look at the facts.
you guys do all the time.
You can't go back and be like, oh, well, he should have from last season when Chelsea
Where-
could have, would have, should have. He's not finished the European position last season. When
where
this
did Chelsea-
season, the
Well,
fact
where
is
did-
they're fourth.
Where did Chelsea finish last season?
Well, where are we going to finish? Where are we going to finish this season?
Well, at the minute, it looks like 10th might be a struggle.
Well, so you say 10th, I say 4th or 5th.
Right?
He's
But,
somebody
but we're halfway through the league season. Are we anywhere near 4th or 5th? No.
yeah,
You
it's
keep
like,
saying you keep
Well, because after we've played the next two
You guys-
games,
you guys keep
after
saying
the
it's
next two games, we will be halfway through the season.
but
so
you
much
guys
for
keep saying
Christmas
we're
joy,
six-
Gary.
You guys keep saying we're 6 points off top. The point I would make is if we keep going like that, we're going to be 12 points off top by the end of the season because obviously we're 6 points off halfway through.
No, because you're
So
saying
you
we're
double-
halfway
you
through.
double that.
We're not halfway through.
Well, exactly. So
But
we're
it's not
6
how
points
these
off.
games
We're not
finish.
even
Two
halfway.
games to go. We win those two games, we're in the top 5, potentially.
If we win them 2 games, we won't be because the other teams above we've still got games to play as well.
Yeah, I was
So
going to say,
you
you've got to
can't
rely
do-
on other teams now to drop points, haven't you, to move up the table? And I think that is the problem. And you know, you can look at it from every angle. You know, if we lose against Man U, that is your 18 games. That's your halfway point. This is your point now.
Well,
whether you've got-
19's halfway.
Well, what I'm saying is you've got to, you know, your Burnley game for me. That is your starting block. The Man U, the Christmas period for me, regardless of how many numbers you've played, is your starting block. I mean, in 21, I think we'd only played somewhere like 15 or something like that at the minute, 15 or 16 games up to now. Or was that 22? So that's what I said. Your Christmas period is your starting block. You've got to then move because you know, especially with all those teams in and around Europe, they've got games as well if they're still there. So everybody's vying for the same thing. If we can get a run of games like Aston Villa have done and show and shove yourself towards that end of the table, then there's an opportunity of finish in a European position. If we are inconsistent now, as we have been for this season, very similar to last season, then as Bauke said, I think we'll be lucky if we finish in 10th because that's how close this league is this
Right,
season.
okay, so you're saying if other teams win, right? We play Man United.
Yeah,
Arsenal play Brighton.
yeah.
Both in front of us. They can't both get 3 points.
No.
Chelsea play Villa. Both in front of us. Can't both get 3 points.
Let's not do this. This is
Yeah, but we're not
through.
talking
Let
about
teams
one
get
game
results
win.
forward.
Palace, Tottenham play each other. Can't both get 3 points.
No, I know what you're saying.
Their teams getting results.
But
It doesn't
Can I
matter
just
what-
let's just take it back a step. We haven't got 3 points yet.
Yeah.
No, that's absolutely right.
That's what I'm saying.
So if you're talking about halfway through the season, let's get halfway through the season before we talk about it.
Well, okay. But what I'm saying is this is your catalyst now because this is where the games will come thick and fast because you've got to that point of the season. And this is where as we did last year, the turning point came. But we didn't have that extra game last year. That's the difference. That to me could be the nail.
And what I'm saying is, we get 6 points now. We're in the 4th place. You're saying, yeah, but everybody else is going to get points. But they're not.
We're not into 4th place. Other teams will get points. You know, I don't know if you understand the fact other teams will get points. We're not into 4th place if we win the next 2 games.
wins
They're not
points.
all going to get. They're not all going to get points. It's impossible.
It's
Some of them
impossible.
will.
It is.
But some of them will get points. So we're not. If we win the next 2 games and get 6 points, we're still not in 4th place.
It depends on who wins.
No, it's impossible. It's impossible for us to get to 4th place by the end of by the end of January. Sorry, by the end of December.
Where's the table now? Let's have a look.
I was going to say, I'm sure I've looked at it, and I think we can get to around about 7th or 8th. I think it is if we win the 2 games and the games go for us to a degree the other way.
Right now, Chelsea are in 4th on 29 points.
Yeah.
We're on 23 points.
Yeah, so 6 points makes us 29.
6 points puts us on 29.
And that's if Chelsea lose their next 2 games.
Chelsea play, have a look, Aston Villa, who are already in front of us. And
points there. Hopefully not us.
and Bournemouth, who are already in front of us.
So if Chelsea don't win our
Liverpool play.
Win. How many points are Bournemouth behind Chelsea? So I'll stop this straight away.
What's happening to Bournemouth?
Bournemouth are the same as us.
This is just ridiculous.
So Bournemouth beat Chelsea, we're still in both of them.
We cannot get to 4th place. Chelsea aren't going to lose 2 games. 6 teams below aren't all going to lose 6 games. The games, it's impossible win. You know, be realistic. We're not going to be 4th at Christmas. There's what
right. Let's be no. I don't believe we're going to get 4th place. But we're definitely going to be within 3 places of 5th place.
Yeah, that's what I said. 7th or 8th. That's where I said we could get to win the next 2 games.
That's not good enough.
Good enough for me.
Not good enough.
But guys, where were we last season?
Exactly the same place.
No, where were we last season? Where did we finish last season?
5th.
5th. So we're now what position are we in at the minute? 11th, 12th?
11th.
Where exactly where we were last season.
So we failed last season as well at the start of the season. Your argument doesn't work. You failed last season.
My argument does work.
Won the Carabao Cup. Like.
So hang on. How come when I asked about last season, you guys says you can't mention last season, you can't use last season as a barometer?
You're the one that just brought it up.
As you guys want to go back to it, you do exactly that. You use last season.
You're the one that brought it up.
But where are we at?
Well, the same place. We are the same place we were last season.
I mean, how many big teams have we played last season? Away?
I'm going to say.
Well, it's halfway through the season, so exactly the same.
No, we weren't. We haven't played any of the big 6 away from home.
That's going to be the difference.
And maybe it will all go wrong and we'll lose all of these games, but I'm not going to sit there and think like that. No, I'm definitely going to think that we can still progress and we are still a better performing team than we have been previously in the season.
I do understand where you're all coming from, but like I say, we won't get to 4th place. We've got a chance of getting 7th or 8th. But again, we've still got a lot of big teams away from home to go and play to try and get this run to go. And that's what I said. We've made it really hard for ourselves going forward. And for me, what's making it really harder is the squad that we've got, even though it's better now, they're still an aging squad in certain departments. So January, they have to go out there and Wilson has to get it right in January by these new players that he brings in, if there's any new players coming.
And in January, we've got Leeds at home, apart from Bournemouth in the Cup. We've got Leeds at home.
January is quite favoursome towards us.
Right, it is. We've got Wolves away. Then we've got Villa at home. Massive game.
But that is a good
Well,
run of games.
Was it out of the next 8? Jamie said it last night, didn't he?
We've got
Out of
6
the
at
next
home.
8, we've got 6 at home and 2 away from the cup competition. So that's what I said. It does favour Newcastle in January. But again, you've still got the bigger teams to play further on. And that's what worries me with this season, because everybody is taking points off everybody. And that's why we are where we are, because everybody else around us is winning as well the same amount of games. So you're reliant on other teams. That's why I said you are reliant on other teams. And I don't mean the teams at the top. I mean the teams around us to actually start losing some of the ground, because if you don't, everybody moves in the same manner as they've done at the start of the season.
You're looking for the likes of Bournemouth to beat Chelsea.
To take points. Yeah, to take points. Yeah.
Is that absolutely unheard of?
But
no, not at all.
It's not unheard of, but it should.
But you're reliant on other teams, and that's that's exactly what I said.
You're basing your season on other teams doing things for Newcastle United.
No, you're basing the season on Newcastle doing stuff.
No, you're sitting there saying, but if Bournemouth do this, if these teams do that, if Chelsea lose these games, you're relying on other teams. It should be Newcastle United who are the ones that do look after Newcastle United. And the problem is, we've failed this season. We've failed in the Premier League this season.
Season's not over. If we win every game from now till the end of the season,
no.
If we win every game from now till the end of the season, other teams getting results isn't going to stop us progressing up the league.
But what you're basing us winning every game on, Christina?
What are you basing us not winning every game on?
No, that's what I said. It's hypothetical, whichever way you look at this. The argument can go round and round and round and round.
My point is, if we do perform and we do our best and we do start getting wins, it doesn't really matter what the other teams around us do. Other teams are going to win, other teams are going to lose. But it doesn't mean that we should throw in the towel and just be like, oh, it's never going to happen. Like, dude, you've got to go in every game trying to win, trying to get that 3 points. And if we do that consistently enough for the second half of the season, it's not going to be a failed season.
If we do, was the comments there.
Right.
Which we did.
Let's look what's actually happened this season. We haven't got the results we should have got.
So
we haven't kept hold of
We
haven't been good enough. You guys are going off hopeful. I'm going off facts. The fact is, we have not been good enough. The
facts are, we never had a striker for the first 5 games. We never had fullbacks for the next 5 games.
100% fact. Best squad ever. This is the best squad we've ever had.
Correct.
So how come it's been the worst, as bad a start as last season when this is the best squad we've ever had?
Because we've had one striker.
Because of the start we got off to.
We've had 3 injured fullbacks.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. The start we got off to isn't good enough.
No, the start we got off to was down to the rat. And the fiasco at board level.
We're a one-team player now. We were a one-team player. Absolute rubbish. No chance. We've got a good squad.
How many goals did we score last season?
We've got a good squad.
How many goals did we score last season?
Well, as you said before, we're not using last season. It's this season. You look.
Now you want to use this season?
Oh my God, you lot! I tell you. Let's just draw the line in the sand, because we're going to be talking about the same thing until blooming 10 o'clock, and you're never going to get any further. Them are on that side, you're on this side. That is it. Like I said, I look at it, and it's not failed, and it's not been an absolute glory. And we are where we are because of results.
And I am fully aware of all of the shortcomings.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I said. I mean, it's hypothetical.
But there are reasons. There are reasons for them. Yeah, and one of the reasons for them is Eddie's in-game management.
That's what I said. Things have to change.
That's one of the reasons.
Can I ask a question?
To get any momentum. Yeah.
Does Manchester City have a good squad?
Yeah.
I think they're much better than ours, yeah.
Is Pep Guardiola a good manager?
100%.
He's supposed to be elite.
What happened to Manchester City last season when Rodri was injured?
Yeah, they didn't win a thing. But you didn't hear many Manchester City fans saying that they had a poor season.
2 out of 10.
And wanted him sacked. Yeah. So, look, listen, this is what I said. I think we are, and unfortunately, we are starting to sound a little bit entitled, and I hate to say it. And this is why I brought it up last night. And it's not a case of, are we just not being in the place where we should be? And that's fighting for the cause. As in every game, they're going to see Newcastle now as the same as they do when they go and play against Manchester United and things like that. They are a big team. They do come at us now at a different level. The Bournemouths, the Fulhams, and everybody else. They do put that extra shift in against us. And unfortunately, we certainly haven't had the refereeing decisions go for us. And, you're right. There's so many factors that can swerve this season, going from the summer with Isak. We don't know how far that went down the line, whether that's affected Ilanga. We've brought in players that haven't really hit the ground running. There's a number of different things. And, Eddie, rightly or wrongly, has made some in-game management problems himself and caused us to go backwards rather than forwards. You can't change that now. What is on the table is where we are. And as Wynn keeps on saying, you'll know exactly how we are when we've done 38 games. And that, to me, is exactly the right thing to say. But like I say, you still now are reliant because of our inconsistency in games. You are still reliant on other teams now to do a job for you, for us to be in Europe next year. That's how I look at it. So we'll keep it there. We'll keep it there. We'll try and keep it.
I just want the other teams that we are reliant on to do what they always do in the Prem. Just compete.
Well, that's all you...
And if they do that, there'll be results that go against the opposition, if you like. The teams that we are directly up against, the same as they have good games against us.
Yeah. But I think there is big teams to get top four now. Win. That's what I'm saying. There is teams that have made a really good start, and it'd take a hell of a drop off for them to lose that many points and us to catch them up. And we've still got to play some of them away from home. And I think that's what I said. There's a lot of important games ahead of Newcastle where if they want to achieve Champions League positioning at the end of the 38 games, them are the games that they've got to go.
One of the major worries for me is that other teams now are looking at us as a bit of a soft touch. So whereas if, let's say, Man City go 1-0 up against them, they think, oh, right. And they lose the will to challenge. Whereas with our history this season, they're looking at us and the manager will be saying, look, if you go 1-0, it doesn't matter because they can't hang on to a lead.
And whose fault
That's the big worry for me.
And whose fault's that?
But whose responsibility is it?
But it's Eddie Howe's fault.
Exactly.
There's nobody arguing about that.
It's like I said.
But who got win the 1-0 up in the first place?
But who lost with the 1-0 win? Oh, come on. That's a ridiculous... Yeah, but he can get with a 1-0 lead, but he can lose it quite quickly. It's a moot point. How many points has he lost this season from winning positions? 13 points.
Exactly, and look where those 13 points were. That's how close we are.
But it's not. His in-game management has cost with those points. So, let's be honest.
I'm not even arguing that, Borky. I'm not arguing that that's wrong what you're saying.
That's exactly what I am saying.
But what I'm saying is we're getting into those positions and it's fine margins, man, fine margins.
But it's fine margins also getting into those positions when you could say you can spin an argument any way. The only way you can look at it is through facts. The fact is...
Right, and let's judge the facts when the games are all finished.
We've got into those positions and he's lost with those points. His in-game management has lost us points.
I'm not arguing that it hasn't.
So we agree.
Which is that's one of my big worries about him.
So in which case he's not changing. He hasn't developed.
We don't know.
Well, we do. Again, you don't. I didn't want to come on here and be negative, but we do know that he has not developed as a manager in regards to in-game management over the last few seasons.
I don't know about the last few seasons. Certainly this season it's been bad.
Well, like I say, we'll have a look at it.
And yet, despite all of that, we're still where we are.
Yeah, exactly.
2 wins and we're there.
It's like I said, you are just banging Arsenal 1-0 versus Palace, according to Connor. So there you go, Arsenal 1-0 versus Palace. Let's have a quick look then, because this is the Christmas wish list. I don't know why I put this on there, because it just feels as though we've deflated a lot of the questions. The core question is, what does Newcastle actually need right now? Talking points, let's have a look at them. One realistic January signing Newcastle should ask for. One long-term fixed, not a January panic buy. One thing off the pitch, recruitment structure, officiating consistency, squad health, and what Eddie Howe would really want if PSR didn't exist. So, come on. What would this is your talking points now. Let's be a bit positive rather than where we are. One realistic signing, what you think Newcastle should be looking for? Centre forward, midfielder, goalkeeper, or defender?
I think to get this positive, we need to start with T.A.M.
Go on then.
I mean, I would like us to sign a new left back, but I couldn't really name somebody who's at the top of my list. I would like us to go in for Tanner. He's started making comments about the fact that he knows about the interest. I know we've went back and forth. I'm going to butcher his name, but it's like Vinanini. I'm going to pronounce his name. But you'll know who I mean, the midfielder who we're going for in the summer. There's a list of players, I think, realistically speaking.
For me, I'd like to see Kamara come in the midfield, if I'm honest with you.
I would really like that. I think he's either him or Toby Mainu. I think he could also...
I'm not a Mainu fan, if I'm honest with you. I think he's a bit lax when it comes to... When the game gets tough for Mainu, what you need is somebody who's going to throw himself around a little bit. And Mainu, for me, and that's why I think he's lost his slot in the Man U side. He's one of them for me. He's a good player, don't get me wrong. But he's a what's the type of word I'm looking for? He's one of them players that, like Wharton, he likes just the small pass. He'll control the game. He's that tempo player. He's not an in and fighter type of player. And I think for Newcastle, the type of player they want is somebody who's a little bit dogged, a little bit like J7, somebody who's going to go and win that ball for you, take it those extra steps and lay the ball off and do that job for you. And that's what I'd want to see in the midfield rather than... Because if I'm honest with you, we've got a Mainu, we've got that type of player already in both Bruno and Tonali. You know what I mean? So I'd want to see more of a proper six, somebody who's going to go and win that ball back for you.
That's why I'd like Kamara. I think he could fit. It's Scalvini is the player whose name I couldn't remember a moment ago. Thank you to the chat for prompting me on that one. But Scalvini. Scalvini. That's it. I couldn't remember the start of his name, so I was like Vinatini. So sorry. But I think number 6 would be great. Again, with the
number 6,
I don't know if that is something that Eddie Howe is going to prioritise. Outside of that young lad, I think covering fullbacks for Tino and for Hall would be the priority. I know everybody wants like another striker, but I think with the players that we've got enough cover up front. We've got Sean Neal as well, who could technically be classed as cover for them. We do have like 5 or 6 good centre midfielders, even though we don't have an anchor midfielder. And I would love to see one come in. I think if I was going to make a Christmas wish list and I was going to sit on Santa's lap and I was going to ask for a specific new signings this summer, I'd ask for a right back and a left back.
Excellent. I like it. Fill your stockings with fullbacks. I like it. What do you reckon then, Boki?
Do Do you know that this might be a bit of a controversial one, but since what he's done at Everton, whether he could go and get Grealish at a good price, you
I
know,
think we
certainly
missed out
did.
on Grealish,
yeah.
unfortunately.
No, but if you could get your Man City, obviously don't seem as part of the future for them. If you could potentially go in and steal him from Everton over this window,
If
get
we
him for
still
50, 60 million, you know, and chuck him into the one of the wing positions on this team, I think he'd make a hell of a difference. I think he's been a revelation for Everton. I mean, I think he's one of the reasons why they are where they are. So I think he would be my choice. The other sign I would make would be any new manager.
oh,
There's a surprise. There's a surprise.
Merry Christmas, everybody!
Merry Christmas! Mighty,
Bah,
what would you want for
humbug.
Christmas? What would you want for Christmas?
What would I want for Christmas?
Yeah, centre forward, midfielder, or a defender?
This is the must-have wish list. I would have Mateta up front.
fair.
I would have Anthony Robinson at left back. I would have Semenyo left wing.
Hijack that deal, yeah.
Bowen right wing. Wharton number 6, if I could persuade Eddie to play with the number 6. Or failing Wharton, I've always been a big admirer of Gallagher, who a lot of people, Conor Gallagher, who a lot of people don't like. But I think he could do it.
I think Eddie Howe is a Conor Gallagher fan.
That's a hell of a transfer window win.
I'm
I
going
mean,
to say
Desmond's
that is some.
Yeah. But
That's some Christmas wish list.
bear in mind, we'll be able to sell Gordon, Alanga. I wouldn't sell Lewis Hall, obviously.
Who we're selling them to? Who we're selling them to? Who's going to want a Langer at the minute?
You
I
probably
don't
certainly
think
wouldn't
we
get
can.
anywhere near your
You're
money
going to
back.
have to bite the bullet and take a hit on him.
I will love it if Alanga becomes a world-class player.
So would I.
Give you a bit of Keegan Shell there as well.
I just cannot see it happening.
I mean, no, neither can I, but I mean, there's lots of things that I couldn't see happening in football that did go on to happen. So,
You're not wrong.
did anybody see Miggy Almiron turning into Lionel Messi for 3.5 months a few years ago? Nowhere. Did anybody genuinely see the team ever recovering from the Mike Ashley days? Like, that did happen. So there's a chance Alanga could become a bit of a, the next Cristiano Ronaldo or something.
Wow, crikey, there you go. Look, Bokey's gone.
Love it.
You've took him off his chair, mate.
I give up. I give up. I'm just going to become a happy clapper. You're completely right. Alanga's going to be
Don't break
brilliant.
him.
Let's go
Don't
for
break
it.
him.
Keep Howe.
Love it.
Alanga's
Love
going to
it.
be brilliant. Let's go for it.
So come on then, let's see who's naughty and nice on this classic festive channel. We should never be. Listen, let's keep the criticism to try and keep it to analysis rather than abuse. So, what player's been on the nice list then this season?
Don't come to me because you know who I'm going to say.
Listen, I'm going to always come to the ladies first. Go on.
Fabian Shea.
Obviously, Fabian Shea. It's going to be on my nice list.
You definitely went to the lady first there, Gary.
oh yeah, sorry. I'll go second.
Go on, Christina.
Who do we think's played well this season? Yeah, like who's been a positive?
Who's on your nice list this season? Who's been the one? Yeah.
Lewis, Cafu, Alves, Miley would be probably the top of my list of players who have been good. Nick Waltamara and Malik Chow would get a shout. Outside of that, and also, even though he hasn't played a lot and he's been carrying injury, Lewis Hall. I think when he's on the side, I think he's the one player who I would never once look at and think, oh, he's just not doing it. He just always looks like he's going to do something. So that's my nice list.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice list. Boken.
I think the one shining light from this transfer window so far has been Chow, hasn't he? He's looks like he's an amazing defender, great player. Special call outs for Hall, Bruno's been great, but the only potential elite and world class player we have in this squad at the minute, not taking the youngsters into account, it's not taking T.A.M and Hall into account because they can get there, but it's Toon Army, isn't it? He's the player that he's had a few bad weeks. I'll freely admit up to that, but he is the one shining light from this squad. He's the pinnacle. He's the guy that I think he would probably walk into every Premier League team. I think he's that good.
100%.
Win.
Well, I'm going to copy everybody else. Lewis Hall, Malik Chow. I'm giving Big Nick a shout.
Big Nick, Walter Messi.
Fair enough.
And
Here we gone.
Far more important to us than Tonali, Bruno.
Oh,
Bruno.
glad it was that name. I thought it was going to be a different B.
I know, but Bruno to me this season, Bruno has been fantastic, man.
Yeah, I must admit, I can't disagree with anything that you've said. To be fair, that was on my list straight away. Miley, Bruno, Tonali, like you said, I think he's not been as.
I haven't got Miley there purely because he hadn't had the time.
No. But I, from what I've seen so far, from a lad who's just been thrown in at the deep end to a degree, I think he's been outstanding. So he went straight onto my list. At the back, you've got to go Chow. He's been an absolute godsend coming through. And I said it before. You know, Golamade up the top there. He took on board a hell of a lot of pressure when he come to Newcastle, being the solo player, if you like, up top. Even though he's not an out-and-out nine, he's this hybrid type of player. But he's come to Newcastle. He's opened up, he's a new world, a new venture for him. And like I say, for me, he's been absolutely outstanding for what he's brought to the club. And like I say, I'm sure he can only improve with that. So I think that's a good call for everybody. Let's just throw that one in. Ian Fleming.
Sorry, I'll let you do that.
Did not think you would want Semenyo win, being an ex-Mackham.
I tell you what, there you go. Yes, my ignorance. I had no idea Semenyo was an ex-Mackham.
Gary, well, we're talking calendar year there as well, because I think there's a couple of more players that I would mention about talking calendar year.
We're talking calendar year. Big Dan straight in.
Oh, here we go. Big Dan.
I agree.
I mean, obviously,
I agree with Win 100%. Big Dan Byrne. And I think also you have to mention the guy that left with Isaac, the one
for what he did for the club.
Yeah, for what he did for the club. So, I think those two. And let's hope. I know everybody hates him, and I know that there's this thing about Isaac, but let's hope the lad gets over this injury as quickly as possible and is back playing.
That's for me.
Not great. It's not. Well, it is. Win. Come on. It's not great for any player to be injured. It's not great for any player to be injured. It's his career. Yes, he did. He did things wrong.
He single-handedly destroyed our season to date.
He did things wrong for Newcastle, but let's be the bigger people and just say, get better soon, lad. Let's hope we'll see you back playing as quickly as possible.
I'm happy that he's not doing well for Liverpool, but I was unhappy to see that he got injured, and I don't want to get myself cancelled here, but I was actually unhappy to see so many Newcastle fans. Like, I know some of it was banter, but there were some Newcastle fans that have seemed to genuinely enjoy the fact that he's got injured, and I'm not about that. I'm not happy with that, to be fair.
No, 100%.
Like I said, you know, for me,
Single-handedly responsible for destroying our season so
He's
far.
not single-handedly responsible, Win. We've got a manager in place who's responsible for things. You know, don't call out a player. Let's just agree to disagree on this one. But
That's what we're going to have to do.
But any player who's injured, I want to see back as quickly as possible, because that's what makes football the game it is. Doesn't matter if they've let you down or if they've done anything wrong, or if they're playing for a different team. You know, we want to see the best players playing in the Premier League. Isaac's one of the best players. Let's hope the lad gets fit as quickly as possible.
He's one of the best players when he's playing for Eddie Howe.
I was going to say he's one of the best players because Eddie Howe made him a good player.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But exactly,
Listen,
that's exactly the point. Eddie Howe.
They need Jacob Murphy. That's what they need, mate, at Liverpool.
Yep.
We all know that.
Yeah, they need the charger.
Eddie's made him the player he is. Let's just hope the lad gets back as quickly as possible.
Not for me. Not when he chucks us in the dustbin the way he did.
Oh, no player deserves what's happened to that at all.
Right, like I say,
we'll agree to differ, as you say.
Yeah. Like I said, you know, for me, he's a Liverpool player now. Not interested. Like I said, those who hold candles to players have a response like that. You know, I ain't. That's what I said. He did well for us. You know, now he's a Liverpool player. Let him get on with his career. Not interested one way or t'other. But you know, he makes a speedy recovery. Then fair play. He gets back to where he was before. Then fair play, because that's all you can ask for. I love making fun of Isaac's form, but laughing at someone having an injury that could ruin a career is poor form. And I think that's directed at you, sir. Said Foxy. Yeah,
I'll take all that on the chin.
Yeah, I know. But like I say, I think at the end of the day,
cannot abide the ball, bloke. Cannot abide him.
No, I know, but like I said, we also shouted out Wissa, didn't we? Doing a similar thing, even though it wasn't to the
he didn't.
Of Isaac. Well, he did. He did go on strike, but then he went back to play with the lads. But I don't agree with what he did at the start with. So, like I said,
completely different. He was promised he could go over 27,000.
Yeah, but like I said, there's nothing written in paper, though, Win. There's nothing in paper on that contract to state that. It was a gentleman's agreement, which means absolutely dog.
But a gentleman's agreement, which Brentford admitted was.
But Win, what was Isaac promised here by Amanda Slavery?
That's what I'm saying. We don't know the full facts on either point, do we?
Well, I think we pretty much do, like.
Well, what was Isaac? What was Isaac promised then? You going down that route?
No. Isaac was the same, and that's down to Mr. Mitchell, isn't it? But that's another story altogether.
I think Bookie supports Liverpool.
Let's just leave this one here. But
yeah, we don't.
I think we can all see it.
So hold on.
Any player hurt? Let's hope the guy gets.
I can just be very, 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 very happy that Isaac is rotting away on some hospital bed.
So
no problem at all.
I've got to call that out. That's absolutely terrible.
Don't go too far there.
No player.
I don't care.
No player deserves to be injured. You know, yes, he let the club down. He let us down. But let's not forget what he did for while he was here as well. Let's hope the lad.
I'll never forget what he did when he was here.
When you're wrong on this one, let's hope
he's responsible
as possible
for a schism right now in Newcastle fans, because we wouldn't be where we are now were it not for him.
But that's just not prove what a good player he was forward. In which case, if you're saying that proves what a good player he was forward. So let's just put it in the sand and say let him. Well,
who's on your naughty list then?
Win.
Which player's on your naughty list? Go on, Tina.
I mean, see, this question is literally the kryptonite to Christina, isn't it? Because who do I put down? Who do I say anything bad about? I think this season I would probably put Gordon on the naughty list, but I do think he's turning that around.
Okay.
except for that, to be honest, don't really have a naughty list. And I know, I mean, I'm not going to spoilers in the chat. I know everybody's going to name Alanga, and I know people are
Correct.
probably expecting me to name Alanga. However, Alanga has just joined the team. He did just have a kid, so he has had a lot going on at home. I think his performances early on, his confidence is shot. I would put Anthony Gordon on the naughty list because he made Alanga look worse by not burying that chance against Barcelona when Alanga pinged it into the middle, like across the floor, really, really quickly, got past his man, shot it into the box, and Anthony Gordon, I don't know what he did. It was kind of like some sort of like breakdance type of move. He was nowhere near the football. I think his idea was to play the football, but he definitely didn't come near to hitting it. So the only player I would have on the naughty list is Anthony Gordon.
Oh, interesting. Bulky, who's your naughty player?
You know what? I don't think I'd put anybody as a naughty player. I think when even Alanga, they're all trying when they get on the pitch. You can see
Oh,
they're
yeah,
trying.
make me look like the bad guy.
No. I think they all try the best. They try the best in the positions that they played, and the team that they played in. So I don't think any of them particularly need to get called a naughty player or be called out for being poor. I mean, you can pick up on. I've picked up on it all this season, so I've got to be honest in this. You can pick up on Byrne being played at left back, but that's a coach's decision. You can pick up on the fact that Alanga hasn't been integrated in the team properly, but again, that's a coaching decision, so that's down to the coaches at the club. So for my naughty step, I'm going to put Eddie Howe and his coaching staff. Because I think
You know what I was about to say?
the,
Bulky's naughty list, Eddie Howe.
well, no, I didn't say Eddie Howe. I said Eddie Howe and his coaching staff because I don't think it's just an Eddie Howe issue. I think it's his whole coaching staff just have gone stale, and they're the ones that have been, you don't want to say it, but like naughty this season. They're the ones that I think that the problems lie with, and I just think it needs freshening up. I think it just needs something needs to happen to and Eddie had the chance a few months ago to freshen up by him bringing in new coaches. If he doesn't, then it needs freshened up completely, and we need somebody else at the helm. Sometimes
That's a good question, Bulky.
sometimes the captain of the ship can get them to a certain destination, but then isn't the guy to get them through the choppy waters to the next destination.
Can I ask you a small question in regards to the backroom staff? Do you think the changes that have been made this season, for example, with Wilson and with the two set piece coaches, I don't think they're going to get much sympathy from you. Do you think the changes that we have already made, while as that kind of integrates into the club, do you think that will start making a difference already, or do you not think that's going to be enough?
I think it needs to be people who are actually on the bench and can help Eddie with his big problems in game management. We all know that. There's no argument there from anybody here. So in regards to that, I think that what we need is for him to have a different voice in his ear, have somebody who's telling him, Eddie, are you sure about this? Are you sure you just want to make the same old subs, or do you want to try something different? Should we be doing this? Should we be doing that? And that doesn't seem to be the case. They're all good pals. And as I've said before, they'll go into another club as that unit and be brilliant for the first few seasons because they'll set everything up, they'll get everything right, but they just don't seem to be able to then develop from that point to be able to manage sort of a team that's on the up. So I suppose what I'm saying is they've reached the level.
Interesting. Win, who was on your naughty list, mate?
Well, Langer is definitely on the naughty list in terms of players. But if Borky's bringing non-players into the equation, then PIF for me.
Is that for non-support of bringing in a DOF?
For going as long as we went without an actual hands-on CEO, and then kind of sticking with Mitchell for as long as they did.
Can
And
I
I'm not
just
necessarily
agree?
blaming even Mitchell for that.
Can I just agree with Win there? There are a bunch of bar stewards for making spend £260 million in the summer on new players. What a nightmare it is having this ownership apart over having Ashley at the club.
Yeah,
I mean, I
exactly.
wouldn't go
Phoebe
that
said
far.
it. But
I'm definitely happier now than I was from the Ashley.
the biggest naughty step, if we're out of our current players, is Alexander the Rat.
Out of our current players.
Yeah. I don't-
He's more.
I mean, I'm not
Sorry,
saying that, but that's
sorry,
not-
because Bogey went outside of the players bracket. So
All right, okay. My apologies.
if you're going outside the current players bracket, Isaac, without a doubt.
That's my bad. Sorry.
Yeah, I am going to go down the
Win,
wingers
what
route though with
was your best?
Gordon and Ilanga.
Can I just ask Win a quick question? What's been your best game over the past season and a half, 5 seasons, 10 seasons, 15 seasons, 20 seasons?
Jesus, you're going wild, Borky.
No, I'm saying what was your favourite game? What's made you the most emotional?
Probably West Ham.
Well, when we come back,
4-3, yeah.
the 4-3.
So you
That
don't
was
care
a good
about-
one.
you don't care about winning the cup.
Of course, I would care about winning the cup.
So that game didn't make you the most emotional.
No.
Well, he cried on air, man. Lots of times. There's lots of games and things that make win emotional.
No. The reason I'm asking that question is who scored the winning goal in that competition for that? Who got with the cup? Who actually scored the winning goal?
Dan Burn.
No, who scored with the winning goal?
Dan Burn.
Who scored with the winning
Oh,
goal?
come on,
Dan
guys.
Burn.
You're like a bloody broken record.
You've got to give Isaac. Isaac was a good player when he was here.
Boki, here's one for you, man. Tony. So, Boki, you want Howe sacked, out of work, but you want Isaac playing for a rival club, eh?
I don't. Do you know what? I'm not even going to get this conversation because, in regards to a player being injured, I don't want any player to be injured. I want to see every team have the best team available to them. I don't want any of our players injured. I don't want any Sunderland players injured. I don't want any ex-players of ours injured. You know, you never
John Barton, maybe.
you never ever wish an injury like that onto a fellow professional. I'm saying no
I was
professional.
going to say fellow professional. Yeah.
No. You never want any professional player to be injured.
Oh, I do.
As I say, well, you shouldn't win. In regards to that, let's just hope the lad gets a quick recovery and is back playing as quickly as possible.
Mark Gay got the equaliser for Crystal Palace. It was not in the 95th minute, by the way. It's gone to pens and it's now 4-4. So they're keeping us updated in the chat. So thank you very much.
Oh, so Ted can't keep a lead into the last 2 minutes either.
No, he seems to be struggling. So has there been an unsung hero for Newcastle this calendar year?
Miley, right back.
Yeah.
I think he's been genuinely fantastic at right back. Other unsung heroes. I know this is going to sound like it's Christina being Christina, but I don't think people talk enough about how good Fabian Schär has been over the last calendar year. And that's not me being on the naughty list. That's genuine thoughts. Like, there's something he gives to our defence that no other defender gives us. He's got distribution that is better than Ramsdale. He's got an ability to move forward with the ball, and he hits a shot like a freaking striker. Like, I watched it.
He doesn't hit free kicks though very well, mate, does he?
Let's forget about that one.
Because they're still picking that one out of the toy, you know that, don't you?
I thought that just
It's just gone past Blythe, that one.
It's literally came past.
Yeah, listen. You're right. I don't think people do give Shaw a bit of an applause like he should, because he had done nothing wrong when he had that concussion spell and he was dropped. And like I say, Malik Chow coming in, unfortunately, the lad did struggle to get back in. And again, we talk about players playing left side of defence. We've not really been at fault Malik Chow playing there. Shaw looks comfortable playing there. You know, again, we go back to this. Do you really need a left-footed, left-sided defender? Not always
I don't think so.
the issue. So, everybody's got their thing in there. Anybody else got something? Who do you believe?
Yeah.
For me, Miley does sing up. Who do you think?
I think the unsung heroes of this season and every season are the fans. You know,
Yeah.
you watched War Flags, you know, getting that team up. You watch how good that stadium is when we're at our best in regards to the players and things like that. The unsung heroes of Newcastle always is the support they have, and to me,
War Flags.
every War Flags and
Slava merchant.
every single every single person who goes to the match and actually watches it, unlike win, deserves the full credit they get, because sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's great, sometimes it's, you know, gut wrenching when you're losing leads, sometimes it's absolute euphoria when you're smashing teams. But I think the fans always are behind the team, you know, and that's been the big difference since this new regime's took over. So for me, the unsung heroes and the people who've made the big difference this season are the fans in the ground, 100%.
Fair point.
Wayne, is anybody that stands out for you, unsung hero?
Unsung hero calendar year? There's only one. There's only one. And he's from Blythe. And he's England's number 6.
Can I just say though, that was a good curveball, Bulky. I like that one because they don't probably get enough praise for what the work they do. Very good organisation. But like I say, you know, you can say everybody's got an opinion, I suppose. PDK saying Graham Jones. I thought he would have been on the naughty list, if I'm honest with you, making them train at 10:30 at night under floodlights. But no, it's a good shout. It's a good shout. Next one, then let's go on to. So this is hypothetical. So it's a bit of fun, right? If Santa ran Newcastle, what changes on Boxing Day? Who starts if Santa picks the team? Who gets dropped for the good of the group? Which young player gets gifted minutes? And what fixture Santa would most want Newcastle to win? Go on then. I'll start with you again, Christina.
Wow. One question. Okay. If Santa was picking the team, I think that Ruddy would be in goal. I think Shahar would be right back. I think Murphy would be left back.
Right.
I think Shaw and Chow would still be centre backs because we don't have any other centre backs, guys.
Okay.
I think the midfield would be Ramsey, Willock, and Bruno. I think. No, wait, let me change that. I think the midfield would be Ramsey and Bruno. I think he would play Barnes on the left and Murphy on the right. And I think he'd play Walter Mara just behind Wisa to make all of the Geordie boys and girls happy.
Right. Excellent. I mean, you can't do anything about that. So you say that there's going to be quite a few drop then, and you've gifted young players some good minutes there. So what fixture would Santa want to win most?
The one against Manchester United because they've ripped off his colours.
Love it.
You must have answers for these,
I'll tell you something there. That's a cracking answer. Boki, anything different for you, lad?
I think what I'm going to do is flip this slightly and say what I think Eddie Howe would want for Christmas. And I think what he would love is, you know, England not do very well from now on, lose, get out of the World Cup, and he then takes that job on. Then we get a proper. But then for Newcastle, it's the gift that keeps on giving, because we then get a proper manager here who can take it to the next level. And
I think this is what he wants for Christmas.
Everyone's a winner. So for me, biggest
That's
present would
for
be
sure.
the biggest present would be Eddie to get the England job, which I would love her to see. I think he'd develop that great. I think he'd be brilliant at it. Newcastle to get a new manager who can take one to the next level. And as I say, what's there to lose? And I mean, even Rudolph there, Win with his red nose, would agree with that, I think.
Go on then, Win.
If Santa was picking the team from what's available on Boxing Day, for me, I'm putting myself in Santa's shoes now, obviously.
Of course.
You've got that.
Yeah, you've got
I
the
would
room.
have Ramsdale, the back three of Chow, Shea, and Hall.
Right.
A midfield five of Miley, Tonali, Bruno, Ramsey, and Barnes. And a front two of Volt, Messi, and Vista.
Oh, crikey, that's a... So you'd have Hall in the back three?
And I've Hall in the back three.
Wow, that's an interesting one.
And I'd have the Miley also. I'd have Miley in the mid. So you've got a situation where they can move over with Hall coming up to be the left of the five,
But Win
and Miley dropping back to be the right.
But I was going to say with that formation, why don't you just chuck Miley in a right back? Agree with the players, maybe, but just put Miley in as the right back. Paul's left back.
I don't think it would work as a 4-3-3.
Can I go
I
against the
I
grain?
mean 4-4-2.
No, I'm going 3-5-2 or 3-5-1-1 actually.
Fair enough.
I'm going to do something rare here and pull Win up on something, which I don't normally do. Normally, Win and me are very much on the same team. But
Give me.
you picked Lewis Hall as the left-sided centre-back there. And you're clearly happy with him. Oh, well, you picked Lewis Hall as a defensive player in that team, right? And you are happy with Lewis Hall as a left back. Lewis Hall, before we signed him, was actually a midfielder.
Yeah, I'm fully aware of that.
Centre midfielder and a left winger. So he's then been put to left back, became possibly one of the league's most promising
The best left back in the country.
Possibly. So what's stopping Lewis Cafu Alves Miley from being the same at right back?
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Well, I just think you're wasting so much of Miley's potential ability.
Yeah, but look at how far Lewis Hall came on as a left back. Maybe it's unlocking his potential.
Yeah, for some unknown reason, we forgot this one off Tony. He's just come in the chat and saying, why didn't you read me out? No, it didn't flash up on my screen, so apologies. Tony, it's an injury, Bokeh. He's not dying. Get a grip.
Oh, sorry, I read that one, actually.
Did you? I didn't see it. I didn't see it flash up on my screen for some unknown reason. So apologies, Tony.
It is an injury.
But thank you anyway.
You don't want any player to be injured, is my argument on that point. No matter who they play for or what they do.
It's an interesting one, but like I say, I mean, for me, it's interesting to see, like I say, when you guys start picking a team, how things can change, isn't it? When you look at it's all speculation and hypothetical now, and it's a bit of fun. But
Can I just point out, I don't actually want Ruddy to be the goalkeeper. I just think because he's never had a chance, Santa Claus would give him a chance because Santa Claus
give him a go. Oh, fair enough. I mean, obviously,
I think Gillespie.
Yeah, Gillespie.
Yeah, Gillespie. Yeah, stop being the T-ball.
Gary, you haven't picked your Santa Claus team?
Well, like I said, I'd already picked mine at the start. That was the team that I'd put in. I wanted to go with the strongest team, and I couldn't. Well, you, for me, had the perfect answer. It's like I said, hey, let's just give everybody a game. Just go with it. Just go with it. You know what I mean? Put all the kids in. So I ain't going to bother with that one because you beat me hands down, mate. So let's go on to the next one. I'm just looking at the time as well, guys. So it is getting away from us a little bit. the gifts Newcastle keep giving away. So obviously we've talked massively on this to a degree regarding, games that we should have been wins, drop points due to poor officiating, game management, missed chances, if you like, what those points would mean in the table now. And again, you've got to look, we mentioned it last night, even myself, I could pick out 4 to 6 points that should have been given to Newcastle because of poor officiating. So that puts us in a totally different mindset and league position just with those points alone. And that's why I said, this is a bit of fun, and I'm not going to go into this too deep because there's no need. We've gone through it now that much with a fine-tooth comb. But like I say, Newcastle are the type of team that are gifting games away this season, and that needs to change. But I wanted to go on to the next one, which was Christmas Ghosts of Newcastle Past, if you like. So I'm going to put up on the screen now something that I hope you will enjoy. And this is where we were the first season Eddie Howe took over Newcastle at this point. You can't see because the little elf said is at the bottom of the screen there. But obviously played 18 games at this point. And Newcastle was sitting quite low with minus 23 goals and 10 points. Obviously, Eddie Howe really didn't start getting a run together until January. His first win come in January. And then it went from strength to strength, really. So isn't it funny now when you look at where we are? So this is the ghost of Christmas past, if you like, where we are now. And like I said, we've already hit this one to a degree, but I'm going to go again around the room and I'm going to ask you the Christmas present. Tina, where will Newcastle finish this season?
This season, I think we will finish 4th.
Okay,
at the end of the
excellent.
season.
Boki?
I was going to go 7th, but then I thought, no, let's push this. Let's go 4th.
Boki, where do you finish, mate?
Top.
Top.
Top. We'll get somewhere.
Do us like that, Borky.
We'll go on this massive run. We'll win every game, and we finish top of the league. It's Christmas, guys. Let's believe in miracles.
Yes.
Let's go for it. Top of the league.
Okay.
First Premier League champion. First Premier League ever. Let's all just pray and hope that's the present I want. Is for we'll just go on a massive run and we'll finish top of the league.
Yes, Borky. Yes.
Where do you reckon then, Win?
And of course that's not going to happen. Much as we would all love it to.
Don't be down, Win. It's Christmas. Come on, it's your birthday. It can happen. Miracles happen.
We already know.
As well.
We already know that if we'd had the points that have been dropped from leading positions, would be second. That's how close we are to being proper challengers. And I think I'm looking Champions League, so 4th or 5th.
Well, I don't think 5th will give us Champions League this year, though. That's the thing.
I think it will still at the minute.
Ooh, it's
Not
on the fringe.
we're going to win the Champions League, so we'll get into it automatically.
We'll get it anyway. We'll just go through the door that way. Fair play. I mean, it's all coming out now.
I think we might surprise people in the Champions League.
Come on, Win, but be positive. We can do this. We can go on this run.
Of course we can.
Get there. We can do it.
Absolutely.
Be positive. Get yourself positive and get yourself, up for it. Eddie's in it for the fight.
I just think we're too far behind now to win it. But we can certainly be. I don't think there's going to be a lot between 2nd and 5th.
Come on, don't be negative. We can win it. We can go on this run and we can win it.
We are going to win it. I believe now.
Yeah.
I believe.
Come on,
I'm pretty sure I
Christina.
answered
I believe. I
believe now.
believe.
Quality. Love it. See me, I think it's going to be Europe rather than Champions League this year. And there's a part of me that don't even feel as though that's going backwards. I just think sometimes when you
I think
play,
it is going backwards.
when you look at the likes of Chelsea, and the other teams that were in Europe, I just think sometimes you do get a season where the drop off is a natural progression. I know that sounds crazy, but you're never going to be. Well, we just haven't got a team squad depth of that quality to get us fighting in all competitions. So there's going to be a little bit of give. So I think European spots, maybe 5th, 6th, 7th, somewhere around that. So that's what I'm looking at.
But hang on, Gary. If we had them 13 points that Eddie's lost would be up in second place and be challenging for the league.
But we haven't got them. That's what I'm saying. So
But
it's
I'm
like
saying,
I said,
That's the problem.
what the
We just
guys have
haven't
been
got 'em.
saying is, if we had them, we'd be up there challenging for the league. So let's be positive. We can get them points.
Oh, I think
No, we've already lost them.
Eddie-
You can't get them once they're lost.
No, what I'm saying is over the next games we can get them points. We'll keep the leads. Eddie propels up the league, and all of a sudden we're in second place and we're challenging for the top.
You better believe it.
100%.
I mean, as daft as it looks, if certain individuals do unfortunately get injured at certain teams, as we saw, as Tina said, Rodri, not Rodrigo, Rodri at Man City. Man City's wheel fell off. Arteta, if he loses a couple of players, some of
If he
their
loses
key
race,
players,
he's knackered.
honestly, there is it's a fine line to keeping these teams balanced. And on the day, like I said, you can lose to the heres and nows. But the way I look at it now is you are reliant on other teams to do jobs for you, where you should have already done them yourself. I don't like to rely on other teams because, like I said, we got through to the Champions League by literally Aston Villa having the shortfall last year.
No.
Oh,
no,
I know.
No.
38 games tells you where you finish.
Exactly.
And all that. Yeah. I
Not
love it.
one game,
Not
38
one game.
games.
there isn't a gift that Newcastle keep giving. If you don't mind me quickly,
Go on.
have I got okay? The gift that Newcastle keep giving is hope. You looked at a table from 4 years ago where we were 19th in the league, and we pulled that around and finished 11th that season. And we
Yeah.
went through the Ashley years together.
Yeah.
We've been through ups and downs. Every single time that we're about to play a football game, I still in my heart and hearts believe that we're going to win 5-0. I still always believe that we're going to turn it around. And I don't think I'm the only Newcastle fan that feels that way. So I think the gift that Newcastle keep giving through all of the turmoil and all of the ups and downs is an absolute unwavering belief in hope.
Can I just pick up on that as well? I completely agree, Christina. In regards to this, the one thing this season is hope has been the one thing that's been really positive about Newcastle. And by that, I mean Craig Hope. He hasn't picked up Eddie on any points in press conferences. He seems to be void of actually calling him out for anything. So the one thing that is keep giving to Newcastle United and Eddie Howe is Craig Hope. You're quite right. Hope is the one that is defining our season now.
That's cool because I'm never going to get to Bulky agreeing with me, so I'm going to take it and then we can move on.
You're going to take it and run. Love it.
Next one.
So Tina, then here we go. Then so Christmas future. We're looking at the ghost of Christmas future. Where can you see Newcastle realistically in the next 18 months?
In the next 18 months.
Yeah.
So that'll be the end of next season. I genuinely, and I know that I have now figured out that Bulky was being sarcastic earlier on, but I think and got to that last bit, I was like, oh no, he's taking the mic. But no, I genuinely believe by 18 months' time we could be pushing the top teams in the league. And
Okay.
I don't see any reason why that couldn't be the case. We bring in a couple of squad strengtheners in January. We have a good rest of the season. We have a good summer transfer window, getting rid of some of the flotsam, bring in some sort of, some better players. Or so squad strengtheners again. I don't see any reason why Newcastle United can't, in 18 months' time, be pushing for a top 3 finish.
Go on then, Boki. Where do you think we finish in 18 months? Where do you think Newcastle will be?
Top of the league. I think in 18 months' time, we've got another 3 transfer windows. I think the squad we've got now has got a good basis. I think we're developing as a club quite well. I think we get the right sponsorship in. I think Hodgson gets as you say, some sort of commercial money in. He gets the ground used on a regular basis rather than just being sat there as a cathedral on the hill for half the time. So I think we'll get some gigs in there. We'll get some money coming in generating that. I think we'll get the training ground sponsored. We'll get the training top sponsored. We'll get all this cash in. We'll keep the players we've got, and then we'll progress. We'll move forward next season. And let's hope Eddie Howe turns around. It's that guy that does it. I don't personally believe it will be, but let's hope it is. And then next season, we'll start off miles better. We've got everybody fit. Everybody's pushing forward. And then all of a sudden, we'll become, rather than being wannabes, we'll become potential champions.
Mighty, where do you think?
2027. 100th year anniversary of 1927. The last time we won the league.
Oh.
That's where we are going to be.
Excellent.
100%.
Love it.
Centenary Premiership title.
But that you've been
Can you
saying that
imagine-
now
can
for a
you-
while, haven't you?
Can you
Indeed.
imagine them bringing that? We've got to have a final game of
And
the
if it
season.
happens, I'm going to be a rich man.
Yeah. If we have our final game of that season, can you imagine them just bringing the trophy on the pitch, and Bruno and the lads all standing there, helping that big trophy up above the head? It would just be It would just be the pinnacle of being a Newcastle fan, wouldn't it? It would be absolutely amazing.
I could die happy.
Yeah. Hopefully
Yeah,
not. Hopefully you don't die. I mean, not you don't.
I'm
Die.
going to say, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I must admit, trajectory-wise, and again, you look at what words speak louder, obviously, sometimes, but you need to show proof on the field of play. So, for me, if the team isn't, obviously, vying for the top 3 at least across competitions, then there will certainly be some questions to be asked. But I'm with you guys. I think, there is no reasons why now Newcastle being funded the way they are, especially if they do what is Mr. Hopkinson has said he's going to do, and he wants to be number 1 by 2030. It's got a bit of way to go yet, so let's see what happens. But I like that. I like the optimism. So who deserves a new contract then for Christmas? Any players out there that you should be tying down now, ready for a reward, rather than seeing if they do decide to move on if we don't make Europe? I mean, Connor's asking us to do a segment that's indispensable to the team, and I think this probably falls into that. If you look at the likes of Toon Army, as you were saying before, Boki, there's certain players out there that are gems that you certainly don't want to give a chance of disappearing to. So is there anybody out there that you would offer a contract now to tie them to the club for a future?
I think one person I would offer a massive contract to would be you, Gary, for your commentary on the games. How you do that, I'll never ever understand.
I don't know how I do it, to be fair, with my memory.
It is absolutely brilliant. So that would be my big contract I would offer.
Thank you very much. Cheers to you, sir.
The other person I would offer a contract to...
Slava.
Well, it wouldn't be you, mate. The other person... the other person I would offer a contract to is, I think we've got to get Tino and Hall tied down. If we can get them two players tied down to the whole the club long time, then they're our future basically now. So thinking them two lads.
Brilliant. Tina?
100% Lewis Hall and Tino Livramento. I think they are very, very important players. I don't think there's any chance that Miley would look elsewhere, but I'd probably make sure he was tied down as well. And just because it's already been memed in the chat, I'll give Charlotte a 5-year contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like I said, there's a number of players that you want to keep down at the club. I mean, we already know the likes of Tonali's with us for a while longer yet with that secret one. What about you, Win? Is there anybody that we haven't mentioned that you think should be there? With a
four players for me: Tonali, Tino, Hall. And if we can get them signed up, I have my doubts about Tino, but if we can get those signed up, you give Bruno a contract that makes him the highest player at the club, highest paid player at the club.
Do you not think he'll have that in his contract now? When as soon as they made him,
no, he hasn't.
I think he hasn't got that clause in that if another player comes in on a higher wage, he isn't.
No. But I would give him it.
Because Shearer always had that, didn't he?
I think he's that important to this club.
Yeah.
I forgot about Tonali, actually. I would tie Tonali down as well, because I don't think there's a better centre midfielder in the Premier League.
I'd give Tonali a new contract, proper money.
Yeah.
And I would give Bruno the same money.
I don't think.
And I would have Wissa, Tino and all, not far behind.
I don't think you could necessarily. I don't think you could necessarily tie Tino to a longer term contract, but I just think more money would be the thing, just to show how good a player he is for and what he's bringing to the team.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, I couldn't fault all of it because there's longevity in all of them. The only worry for me with Tino is injury issues. With his knees the way they are at the moment, being so young. There's still a lot of football still to play. Is he going to be another Woodgate situation with his knees? I'm not sure whether Tino, for me, it'd be questionable. I'd definitely give him an extension, but I certainly wouldn't give him a massive. I wouldn't give him a Chelsea extension. Put it that way.
It can go the other way though. Because I don't know if anybody's going to remember this, but before we signed Demba Ba, there's a blast from the past for years, Demba Ba. But there was a massive worry around him, around his knees being a ticking time bomb. And to be fair, he was one of our high point signings at that point in our history. So sometimes people who look a bit like glass cannons can turn out to actually be okay.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you have to manage them. You have to manage them well. And we've already spoke about, there was a player that we mentioned, a defender at Villa. I can't remember his bloody name again now, who never trained. He only ever played at weekends because he couldn't manage training through the week.
Oh, McGrath.
Paul McGrath.
And there was King in Tottenham as well, wasn't there?
There was King, yeah, absolutely. He's another one who couldn't play. But then, you can get around it if it's managed well.
Never trained, just played.
Just played. Yeah,
I don't think people realise how bad your knees can be if they're sore. So
Ask
it's
Shearer.
not well, I've got you'll know, Gary, but I've got Osgood Slatters in one of my knees.
Oh, good lad. Osgood Slatter. I haven't heard that for years.
Yep. It absolutely kills at times, especially if it's like during the winter months and things. It's just sheer pain at times, and you cannot walk, you certainly couldn't play football with that. So
no.
Your knees are really important to a footballer. Your whole body is obviously important to a footballer, but your knee is completely important.
Merry Christmas, Ian. Oh, sorry,
Merry Christmas, Ian.
I took it down. You put it. Merry Christmas, buddy.
Merry
All
Christmas,
the best.
mate.
Take it easy.
Ian.
Have a lovely one. Right then, I mean, again, we're going to go on a little bit longer with this one. Best and worst performances, Christmas performances. What's been your worst performance then this season?
I don't think there's going to be any debate about that.
Well,
West
let's
Ham.
see if we've got a difference of opinion, because we've got a couple of really poor ones, haven't we? But you're going to say Sunderland, aren't we?
As
Obviously.
far as even I'm saying Sunderland, and
Yes.
like I think in the whole time I've been invited on this channel, I think I've said about 6 negative words, and twice it's been me saying that Sunderland game was bad.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah,
What do you think of? What do you think is the best performance so far then? Because the first half at Chelsea was probably the best football I've seen this season, to a degree. But what's been the overall performance of the year so far for you guys?
West
Man
Ham
City.
for me.
yeah. I mean,
Ham.
we
West Ham.
Yeah.
You mean
What do
Everton?
you?
3-1 down, 4-3 up. Now we're going to win the cup, except it wasn't a cup game, it was a league game.
This season.
This year.
It's going calendar year.
Oh, when you said the season's going, I was going.
I was, but he's gone calendar year.
Well, do you want to
all
go this season?
Jesus
Just
Christ.
this season, yeah. Because
This season.
yeah, just this season.
Has to be Man City. Has to be.
No, Liverpool for me.
It's a good shout. I mean, I know we come out of the losers, but it was a good game of football.
Oh, I've never come out of a game losing and felt as good as I did after that game.
Yeah, I can.
War
I can
Captain
understand that.
Bruno, thank you for your 5 seasons greeting the wall. Happy birthday to Win. Bah, humbug to Boogie. Nice hair to Gary. And happy share to Tina.
There you go. Superb.
thank you, World
Brilliant.
Captain Bruno.
Yeah, absolutely. What was your favourite game then, Boki?
Favourite game of Man City was I think it's one game that I can say that Eddie Howe actually did but well in managing. He managed that game really, really well. So
Yeah,
I think Everton was obviously good as well, but I think for me it has to be Man City. Best half we've had, as you've all said, is Chelsea. The only
So
problem was
the best 90 minutes for me was probably Everton. That was the way we controlled the game fully.
the only problem we had with the Chelsea game was we had a second half.
Yeah. Did change a little bit.
Yeah, I still genuinely think that the Chelsea game was good from start to finish. I know we lost a couple of goals, but the reason that I look at that game so positively is because, as I say, that the low point of the season was Sunderland, and since then, in that Chelsea game, we looked really positive. We kept playing, we kept attacking. We didn't sit back and defend even after we went 2 goals up. Maybe we should have, but we didn't. And I liked the intensity coming back to Newcastle, the pressing
Yes.
coming back to Newcastle. That Chelsea game for me, I honestly have, and again, it comes down to hope, but I have hope that that's going to be a real catalyst for the season for us.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't disagree with that. To be fair, it is what it is. But I mean, like I say, there's been moments this season where you can actually see the potential out there. You can see what this team can give you, and I think the frustrating part is as much as what they can give you, they can take away. And I think that has been, for me, it's been frustrating, and I think that's why you see lots of fans now, happy or sad about whether Eddie Howe and Connor's just sent me a text saying Howe's got 18 months left on his contract. As we talk about contracts before, would any of you guys offer him a contract now to extend it?
No.
Yes.
Win?
No.
You wouldn't offer it him at the moment. So there you go.
No.
So things have to improve. I tend to agree with you on that one. I'd probably be giving him, I know people say the end of this season. I think that would probably be it. So 3-1. There you go. Of no contract to 1. So there you go. Is there anything from what you've seen overall? What's been your highlights so far? I mean, thank you very much for your kind words before. Now, I want to thank a lot of people in the chat as well, because I've had some really lovely comments towards myself regarding commentary. And I must admit, with my brain injury, you don't realise how hard that is and how much I have to study to get them names lodged into my head to keep them there. And I still make mistakes, and I apologise, but I do my best. And like I say, I just wanted to say an absolute thank you, like I say, to you, Balky, and the rest of the crew, because I know how much I'm appreciated from you guys as well. But like I say, I just wanted to say a massive thank you out there to everybody that listens. And like I say, I do apologise if I screw up now and again.
You're a genuine world-class commentator on match day. I think you're better than the Newcastle.
Hey, steady on, man. Steady on.
I'm going to say, listen, I'm going to fall off this chair in a minute.
Better.
And Win, thank you for. Can we just say thank you to Win as well for turning up? Yeah,
absolutely. I want to say thank you for your birthday, for actually getting up this morning and doing it. You know, because you like I say, mate, it's your birthday. I'd have been quite happy. And I wanted to end the show.
Today is your birthday. Ba-da-da-da.
Yes, Tony's saying, "Wait, Gary's got a brain." It's not functioning properly, mate, but it's there. The one cell says to the other one, "Where have you been all this time?" I wanted to say I've made a little bit of a Christmas rhyme, and like I say, I'm gonna finish tonight with this rhyme. So here we go. I hope I don't screw this up either. On the NUFC Talk at Christmas time, black and white debate in festive rhyme. From every corner, near and far, Geordie's voices shine like a winter star. There's Geordie Yam Yam full of cheer, and the mighty Win with views so clear. The American man calls in with class, while Tina Tooney keeps us on the right path. Balky's there with festive grin, and the King of Qatar weighing transfers in. Tim and Peter, the twins, has won, finishing each point till the debate is done. DX breaks tactic line by line. Jamie and Jeffo say form beats time. When passion peaks and tempers jam, you'll hear the voice, it's D-Man. Add Corey and Sam to the black and white crew, bring fresh views, old values too. So raise a glass, let the season start. Merry Christmas tune from the NUFC heart. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Oh.
Ho, ho, ho.
You filthy animals.
You filthy animals. We'll all see you on Boxing Day. Like I say, don't forget to join us. We're off now till obviously then. So we'll be at the start of the Boxing Day show. It'll be bright and early, I think.
See you for the manual build-up.
Yeah, I don't know what time we started on that one, to be fair. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff, so it'll be around about 6 o'clock.
6, something like that.
Yeah, 6 is like that. Probably the twins will be on. So like I say, thank you all so much for your support. Don't forget to smash that like buttons for us. Like I say, if you can, that'll be great. And like I say, until then, Merry Christmas, one and all. See you on the next one.
Merry Christmas.
How we're the lads.
What are you going to say, Tina?
Masses and bands.
Yay! See you all.
Ciao, ciao. Happy Christmas.